Good afternoon and welcome to the Women's Draw 6 of the 2023 Junior Curling Nationals here in beautiful Wayland, Massachusetts. My name is Connor Hogue and I will be your co-announcer here along with Kelsey Becker as soon as she gets here to join us. We have a great match for you guys with Scheel versus Hagenbuch on sheet 2. Just wrapping up the LSDs and giving the ice a quick mop here before we start the game. And we're about to get started here, just doing a final mop.
See, I have enough cords as is, so it just doesn't faze me.
Scheel, you can see sitting at the top of the leaderboard with a perfect 5-0 record, and Hagenbuch sitting at a 2-3 record, both having played 5 games. So a pretty key game here for Hagenbuch if they'd like to stay in the playoff race, and Scheel will look to extend their dominance here as they started off again with a perfect 5-0 record.
Clean on 3. Oh, I was just like, clean on 3? Clean on 3.
The other games we have for you on sheet 1 that you can view on our other feeds at USA Curling YouTube are Berg versus Ponzio on sheet 1, and Ryerchuk versus Pekowitz, the hometown team, on sheet 3, followed by Johnson and View on sheet 4. So a lot of great games coming at you.
You sound so confident.
That's some good precision right there.
Let's have a nice clean end. On 3. Go bunnies. Excuse me, can I grab my broom?
I have my money.
I thought you had a heated vest.
I figured it out.
Because of the dot.
Yep.
So close.
I listened to it again on my solo drive.
I'm not even surprised.
And Dan, our Iceman, has given the all clear. So we'll start 1 minute of practice slides and then jump right into the game. Scheel won the last shot draw, so they will start with hammer, and they will be throwing the red rocks here on sheet 2.
Sorry, I went to the wrong side. It's okay. We've been yellow for the last 4 games, so I might do that too.
As we see teams now about 2/3 of the way through the competition, we'll see how they've adjusted to our ice here at Broomstones. We've had very quick, very swingy ice, getting about 5.5 feet of curl.
I'm gonna give this one to you here.
And Tessa Thurlow's just going to start out here with a draw to the 4-foot. The sweepers seem to like it.
Hey. Nice. Just top 4. Running nice. Are we back? Okay.
And this rock a little heavier than they were expecting, so they're going to sweep this to the back of the house. And that rock will settle nicely in the back 12-foot. So a little faster than they were expecting, but not bad to put that first rock in play. Looks like both teams are going to start with an open end here, so Hagenbuch will throw the hit here.
No, it's okay. I thought that was less out of my hand, too.
You're good.
14-1? Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely give you less here.
And this rock here by Lauren Hine is just over curling a little bit, and unfortunately will miss that red rock. Might have thrown a little bit lower weight than they were expecting. And again, that grab early and curled right past, unfortunately. So Tessa's going to line up another draw here, look for a top 4, take a little bit off this rock.
Line's still really good. Definitely left.
Unfortunately, we don't have audio for Team Scheel, so it looks like you'll just be hearing from the Hagenbuch team through the microphones. We'll do our best to guess what they're saying from up here in the booth. I am
top 8, top 4. Always 15-3, should be close.
Apologies, we only have the Scheel mics. The Hagenbuch mics
Good judge.
are not currently working. And Lauren makes a nice draw there to the top 8 foot.
Good judge, Joe.
And wow, just joining me right now, she made it
15.
only 3 shots late.
With a light.
Kelsey Becker, good to see you. How was the traffic?
Oh, you know, Boston congestion always
With a light
has
clean.
a surprise. A
That's
Mercedes hit a Porsche on I-95. Sounds
Wow.
expensive.
Yes, I would not like to be that insurance company. Funny enough, I was driving in on Route 9.
Ooh.
All the traffic lights were out the whole way.
Wow. I thought it was
The top
Taxachusetts.
of
Wonder
this
where that's
handle's loose,
going.
so I'm gonna be
Yeah.
careful with it.
Anyway, sad that I missed the beginning of what I think is going to be a really great game.
Yeah, very key game here for Hagenbuch, sitting at 2 and 3. But I think we have 2 really good competitors here, and should be a good game. Again, starting with that open house, so Thurlow's just going to draw another one in here.
Watch it.
Sweepers like the look of it.
Really speed it up here. Nice
And again,
shot,
that
Tess.
rock will end up nicely in the top 8 foot. Actually slips a little in the 4 foot, so really dialed in on their draw weight early.
It ran normal. It might have just been
Hagenbuch
like
is going to
picked up
try
the rock.
this almost a hit and roll
It ran
or the double.
normal and-
Kind of have a
picked
couple
up the
options
rock.
here depending on how the rock curls.
Okay. Eye on
Sweepers
it.
are on it right out of hand.
You got some nice ones here.
Again, with that lower control weight, you can really see the rock moving.
I'll keep an eye on it, but I think it's okay.
And they'll get about half of a rock and roll their shooter out. So again, just trying to trading rocks here, getting a feel for the ice.
Top eight,
Scheel's
top
going to put
four.
another one again right into that top 4 foot, either trying to get a force or a steal here if they can get another miss from Hagenbuch.
Line's pretty good. Top 4. Great side. Top 8, top 4. Top Line's 4. Really good. T. Okay. Gotta sit then. T back 4. T really coming gotta down. Top 4. Really gotta sit here. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Top 4. 15-1. It's all there. Gotta sit.
So I apologize, on our screen, it looks like you're seeing Scheel with the hammer, but our scoreboard indicates that Hagenbuch has the hammer. So Scheel's actually going to, again, be looking to steal. They do not have the hammer this end.
15-1. Yep. Miranda and I are liking like. Yeah. Miranda and I are liking like a 15-5 there.
Yeah.
I think that should run really nice.
Yeah, probably
15-3 on its own, yeah, because I never touched that rock.
May Hagenbuch with her second here. Again, trying another hit, possibly the double or the nice hit and roll. And she makes a
Very
beautiful
nice
double on
double.
that one. Yeah, well managed, a nice adjustment.
Just those.
And Hagenbuch turned this end around for them for sure.
Got a nice
You
one
know,
here.
so far this tournament, Connor, I've been surprised that it seems like there have been more blank ends on the ladies' side than the boys' side.
Kelsey, I can't confirm or deny that. Unfortunately, I've only, I think, seen the ladies' games, and I have seen a lot of blank ends, although I don't know if it's more or less than what the men have been drawing. For the juniors, I should say.
Yeah, traditionally in as curling has developed throughout the years,
Okay. That pass is just a little bit
on the
straighter.
boys' side or the men's side, you often see a lot more blanks because they love to hit so
Kendall.
much.
Definitely.
That pass just really runs.
But
Yeah, I
here we
think-
clearly see
threw it well.
some young ladies that have developed their hits. Maybe picked
Yeah,
a few things up from that.
And I think especially early in the game, teams are okay with keeping it open and okay with some of those blanks.
Exactly.
Usually later in the game, when you see more of those forces are really going all out for the steal.
Yeah, absolutely. And also another chance to learn the ice.
Definitely.
Players have that pre-game practice, but 9 minutes is not a lot of time to fully understand what a sheet is going to do for the day.
Yeah, definitely. Usually in those practices, they're trying to warm up the ice, get the ice up to speed for that final last shot draw they're going to throw. So trying to feel out the ice, but also trying to make sure they can make that last shot draw and win that hammer, which is obviously a huge advantage in the first end. So Hagenbuch just draws to the side of the house here and sits one. drawing to the edge of the house makes that hit a little more difficult for Scheel. Jordan Hine is going to try this in-turn hit.
Close! Close! Whoa. 9-5.
And it's
Just nosing
looking
here.
pretty nice as it
That
comes
works, nice
down.
shot.
Sticks around, which is the best part about that shot.
9-4.
Yeah, nice nose hit. Actually rolled out just a smidge further. So again,
9-4.
really working the full
9-4.
sheet of ice here on the first ends.
That works.
I think an interesting kind of style you see at the junior level is some teams are more comfortable throwing this hit outside in, as you're seeing called this game. If you see some of our other sheets, they might throw that hit inside out. You know, just kind of a team preference, but interesting to see at this level, you know, who goes outside in and who kind of works it up the middle.
Okay. Same thing. I still like normal here. It does start
And we're
to
just
fall
trading
when you
hits.
start
Hagenbuch makes
going
another
straight,
nice hit,
so.
and Scheel will attempt
Wait for it
to
to
replicate
fill
their
a
last
bit.
one.
You still like normal? Okay.
Yeah, and we're hearing from Miranda.
Yeah.
Already making a few assessments
Got a
on
good
the
one.
ice.
Yep.
Telling
Good
her
spot here.
vice for the line call that it might take a little bit
I
for it
don't
to start
hate
to
nose.
fall.
Nose is still in.
Start to
Yep.
curl, might fall out to the side a little bit.
Yeah, and you can see with that broom they're taking, they're not expecting very much curl at all. You know, just a couple of inches of ice there.
Yeah, let's see what kind of weight she throws, because she'll definitely want to stick around on this one too.
Little soft. Whoa! Whoa! 9-7.
Sweeper
Probably
calling a
just
9-7, which is about a
Easy,
normal weight hit.
normal.
Yeah.
Just kidding. 10.
And a beautiful, perfect nose hit. So really well managed.
10-4.
Yep, and we'll see
10-4?
as it
Yeah. Oh, okay.
as that stone
9-7.
works up and out of the
Definitely
rings a little
soft, though.
bit,
You threw it
it makes it
nice.
harder and
Yeah.
harder for the shot thrown to stick around.
I think we just gotta be patient with those passes.
Yeah, at this
They
point,
do
Hagenbuch is going to be
get
looking for the blank. So they might try and stick one other one, just a nose hit, and then make a really tough one for Scheel on their last.
True. We don't need to talk about that anymore. I was just like, snap. Literally, I was.
Hagenbuch taking a couple more inches of ice than Scheel, so might be throwing a little bit less weight, or just have a slightly different delivery. Everyone has kind of their tendencies on certain turns, so you'll see different ice, different weight calls, depending on who's throwing.
That looks like a nice rock there. Sweeper's just going along with it, on, off.
Nosing here.
And although they got the nose on that, it doesn't look like it stayed in the house.
Try and get around. Even here is fine.
So Scheel with an opportunity to put the pressure on for a steal. That yellow now acting as a wide corner guard, but they'll do their best here to tuck one under and try and steal a point.
Just gonna try and come around. Yeah, I like it. Might as well. If we're out in the open, top 8, that's fine too. Yeah, I like a 15-2 here. Okay. I think the pads should be pretty broken down. Yeah.
Sweeper's asking for or
relatively
speaking about a
easy one, but I think it'll
15-2,
still
and
be
that's
good.
a hog-to-hog
Like
time
less?
from the thick
Yeah.
near black line
Like
to the
less?
far black line.
Yeah.
Gives you an indication for the speed of the ice.
Not gonna give any here. Didn't give any. Could still be there.
So you hear Miranda saying that she
I don't want to touch.
didn't give it any. Might have
back 4.
not
Back
necessarily
8.
liked her slide there. Thought
I
she
don't wanna touch.
slid out a little hot and heavy.
14.
Let's
Should
see if
stick
the rock will
around.
slow down for them.
Oops. Sit down.
And unfortunately, just going to slide through the rings. Will stay in play, but
Okay,
not a
at
counter.
14. Okay.
So just a pretty easy blank here for Hagenbuch.
They're just throwing it out. What? They're just throwing it out.
And Isabella will
Are
have
they throwing it through?
just through the house. Fun opportunity to maybe see a line you haven't seen before.
Yeah, I think always good to throw it like it's a real shot, even though there's nothing on the other end. Keep your focus, and again, kind of get a free read on the ice for something you might need for later.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know how far. It looks like It's quite a bit. They're throwing it through.
And she nailed the blank on that one. So Hagenbuch will take the hammer to the second end. And we'll be back after this. And welcome back to the second end of the 2023 Junior National Championships. We'll start off with one of our sponsors here. Is your curling club website clunky and unworkable? Are you tired of your club relying on social media because your website just does not work for your members? I know I am. Finally, the curling management software your club has been waiting for is here. Check out Warm Room Hero at curling.club today.
On its own. Yeah, just really narrow.
And first shot up here.
Good
It'll be
judge.
just on. Ooh, just behind the tee line there. Not what Team Scheel was looking for. And Hagenbuch will choose to just remove it immediately.
Yeah, so both teams pretty happy to play it open here. Could have seen maybe a corner guard from Hagenbuch here, but both teams just, I think, adjusting to the ice, feeling each other out here early in this game. We'll look around the boards here for a quick score update. Ponzio took one in the first and leads Berg 1-0. Ryerchuk took one in the stole one in the first and is up 1-0 over Pekowitz. And Johnson is up 2-0 over View as they start the second end.
Got room.
And now we have Team Scheel calling for the hit, and it might be one of those ends where we just see these ladies trading hits back and forth.
Nice shot, Tess.
Yeah, basically looking for one of the other each other to kind of blink on this one. So they'll just trade hits until we see a miss or maybe a hit and roll out.
Good sweeps.
Again, with I think such an important game here, neither team wants to take a risk too early or get themselves into trouble.
Try and roll the other way. Straight, sorry. No, whoa. That's fine. Oh, sorry, you're good. Just nose. Small rolls, okay. Control.
All right, so a little more of a roll on that last rock. Let's see how the other side of the ice is doing.
Close. Up. Close. Close straight. Yup. Hard. That works, Tess. 10.
All right, a little more of a roll that they were looking for.
Okay.
Brings action to the back of the house more.
Yeah, still definitely a hitting scenario here for Hagenbuch. You know, could in theory try a freeze, but again, I think it's too early for that. This one appears to be hanging a little bit. Sweepers are trying to push it over.
That's fine.
All right, and remove the rock, but do not stick around as they intended. So this gives Scheel a little bit of an advantage. They can now choose where they want to stick their rock, and without hammer, above tee on the center line, pretty good, but still counting to where Hagenbuch will have to deal with it.
Lots of room, got a curl.
Yeah, it looks like Scheel's really just playing for the force here, trying to make more hits than Hagenbuch and hoping to force them to throw that draw on their final one.
14-7,
Or possibly, you know, have to throw the big hit and roll to throw the peel on their last one, which is a lot harder, obviously, when that rock is in the center of the house, or in this case, perfectly covering the pin. Great draw there.
You like normal? You're okay. Because I didn't touch it. It's covering all of the pin. So, I say they're hitting it anyway.
May Hagenbuch. Initially needing the rock to curl, but then curling a little too much, so learning the ice, very controllable weight.
Tessa working on this and comes off and makes a nice, beautiful nose hit.
9-9. Okay.
So no one's blinking so far, just trading a lot of hits. Rock still hanging out in the forefoot.
Control. 9.
Hagenbuch, you can see, calling these closer to a control weight with a little more broom. Scheel's been opting for almost no ice and calling a normal weight. So again, two different ways to kind of attack it. With that lower weight, you can maybe manage the curl a little more, but when you throw it a little faster and you're on line, you can also just let that do the work for you.
What's your preference here?
I think a lot of it depends on the ice conditions. I think a lot of it depends on kind of what your pro side misses. Typically, if I'm rolling out a lot, I like to bring the weight down and have a little more control over it, but both teams, again, haven't made a miss here, so I think you stick with what works.
Yeah, I personally like lower weight, like control. Definitely, like you said, keeping your shooter around. I often try to tell my players that only throw the weight that you need. But at the same time here, in one of the earlier ends again, still getting a feel for that ice. You might not fully trust every line yet, and normal gives a little more security.
Yeah, and I think especially with our ice we've seen here this week is it's very weight sensitive. So anytime you're bringing that weight up above kind of a back line or kind of a takeout weight, you know, it's really not going to move that much. So only talking about a couple of inches.
Oh, absolutely. But at the same time, as we've commented this week, rocks are so lively that, you know, even getting a centimeter off from where you want to hit, depending on the weight, can cause your rock to roll out, as we see right there. So again, Scheel looking to have her way of it.
Yeah, again, I think they're just
center
looking for a force or a blank. So they'll probably draw to the top four here.
I honestly don't mind top 12
Hagenbuch will hit. They'll either throw another draw or another hit, and then Hagenbuch will have the pressure peel probably on her last one.
Yeah, it sounds like Hagenbuch already talking about going for that blank again.
Yeah, and as we kind of noticed in the first couple shots at this end, you could almost predict what was going to happen after that first shot. We knew both teams are looking to hit, and if no team misses, this was kind of the predictable outcome.
Top 8, top 4.
Sweepers like it as it's curling in.
And very beautiful shot.
And you hear Jordan give that 15-5 time to her sweeper. That's a nice little check-in as the rock comes past the near hog line to let the sweeper know kind of what speed we've been working with.
Yep, and great opportunity for Miranda to practice that draw weight. It's always good as a skip when you feel like you have draw the forefoot in your pocket.
Yes, definitely.
I said just normal. Like, I don't know. Like a tight 3 guard. Yeah. Not end.
Right, Isabella's first here.
So I think Isabella might actually be trying to get a little bit of a roll here. Again, when the rock's in the center, it makes that last peel really difficult. So if they can roll closer to the 8-foot or the 12-foot, that would put the pressure on Scheel to make a good one and make that peel more difficult.
Close, yep.
I don't mind 3 pro top 4.
All right.
Just gotta be at least
Curling a
5.
lot at the beginning here. Coming off, getting
Little
a
off nose.
bit of a roll. Maybe not as far as she would have wanted, but
I think that was a good way to manage it, though. You know, they rolled out on their last one, so you don't want to take too much risk. But rolling over about 2 feet does make this shot something different for Scheel. And again, I think it'll help on her last one to make that peel. So Scheel's going to try and actually roll back towards the center. She wants to roll right in front of that button. And again, make this final peel as hard as possible.
I honestly didn't stop myself once. Okay.
Scheel's last rock in the second end.
9-5. Line's good. Line's good. Gotta curl.
Likes it out of her hand.
Curl.
And now just waiting for the ice. Asking her solo sweeper, maybe help the ice out, give a little extra curl there. And ultimately, a very nice
I
shot.
want to roll out this time for sure. Let's just go normal.
So Isabella emphasizing she really wants to roll out here after a well-played end. They do not want to get one. They want to save that hammer and score 2 or even more. So they'll look to hit about half a rock here and roll it out and get another blank.
Yeah, a really nice placement by Miranda. Like we said, as you see Isabella get in the hack here, you will see that she is quite angled. So when we're talking about wanting to leave a trickier takeout on the edges, when you naturally line up in the hack, you're pretty straightforward. But the more you have to adjust your angle in the hack, like we see Isabella doing here, it can be a little trickier.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah, the further you get out in the house, you're leaning a little more on your broom, a little more on your slider, and a little more off balance. So it just really increases the difficulty of those shots.
And sticks around. Did not want that. Is forced to 1 here and will give Scheel the hammer.
Yeah, definitely not the result they were looking for. Maybe a little less weight than they had called for, or just kind of curled a little more. But not exactly what they were looking for, so they'll
Yeah, I like that a lot.
have a decision here if they want to go for the steal or, again, keep it open and try and force Scheel back here. And we're back to the third end here in the 2023 Junior National Championships. Scheel versus Hagenbuch. Hagenbuch leading 1-0. And they're going to start off here with a nice center line guard in about the 2 position, about halfway in between the house and the hog line. Puts that on the center line. It's a perfect shot. No tick allowed there.
Yeah, the no-tick rule in effect for the first time at U21 U.S. Junior Nationals, right?
I believe so. Definitely an interesting kind of wrinkle to the rule. Really, makes their lead have to work hard on their shots to manage the line and the weight, when normally you just kind of had to be worried about the weight.
Should be on there. Whoa. Team, sit here.
This rock hanging out just a little bit.
So,
and we'll drift to the back of the 4-foot.
I like top 4. Say 14-8.
looks like a mixed doubles setup.
It does. Great work. Just walk him down.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Interestingly enough, the no-tick rule coming into effect because
I threw less, too.
because of the prominence of ends like we just saw.
Yeah, and I think a similar vein with the 5-rock rule. You know,
Gotta be 4.
curling fans want to see some action, so trading the hits isn't the most exciting thing. So by having that 5-rock rule, I think it keeps the game close, brings a lot more 2s and 3s into play. So even if you're down by a couple, there's always a chance for an exciting end. Lauren going to draw in nicely.
Are we not?
Just to it.
And just goes a little bit over the tee line, so a little heavier than they wanted, but I still think that's in a good spot and puts the pressure on Scheel here to make a good one. So Tessa's just going to try and take a couple feet off this and corner freeze on that yellow on the button.
Curl side, curl side! Gotta curl! Line's pretty good, yup! Hard,
And
Jordan
sure
is
you're playing with 3 players.
hard, Joel, hard!
Yes, they are, which makes sweeping extra difficult. So Jordan working hard on this one.
Good sweeps.
Won't drag it as far as maybe they would have if they had 2 sweepers, but I think that's in a good spot. I think the pro side miss there was a little light. They can always tap that rock up, or there's still an opening to draw around the outside on the right,
Good.
which I'm actually surprised to see Hagenbuch not attempting.
Yeah, Scheel unbeaten so far. I think have been playing with 3 all week,
Line.
which very impressive. However, very difficult on that first sweeper.
Gotta be here, Riley.
Definitely, and in a long competition like this,
Yes, Riley, hard, Riley. Hard
you know,
line.
fatigue can definitely be a factor as they're playing 2 games a day. These 10-end games aren't typically played, so you know, a real grind for Team Scheel here.
Fudge. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay.
You like trying the double? Yeah. Feels or I get this slash.
And again, that draw just coming up a little bit light, but again, I think that's the pro side miss we're talking here. And when we talk pro side miss, that's, you know, if you're going to miss the shot, kind of what's the way to miss it? You can miss it a little heavy, a little light, kind of a little wide, or a little narrow. So again, by leaving those rocks a little shorter, they'll be able to promote them with their later shots. Whereas if those slide to the back of the house, it would just allow Scheel to freeze on them. So again, I think that's probably the way to miss that one.
Close. Close, whoa. Curl.
And Tessa will move a bundle there. Was trying kind of a raised double, but will move both those yellows out of the 4-foot, which I think is a good result. Looks like yellow is still sitting 2,
Sorry.
but Scheel with the hammer won't be too concerned with that.
Where?
And May's just going to try and draw another one around and replace that rock in the top 4.
This is fine. I mean, it's
Sweepers like it, has a bit of curling to do.
That's fine. Oh, take a look, take a look. We're all there, Riley. Right, yep, back.
Little deeper than they wanted, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
got
just a
it
couple
behind
feet
that
heavy.
red rock.
You know, actually over buries a little bit, so you see it poking out a little on the right there. I would expect Scheel to take on this double.
Close, yup. Clean, just clean. Close, yup.
Ooh, and a great shot there by Jordan. Makes the double and sticks her rock right there in the back 4-foot.
8-6.
And you hear them calling an 8-6 for that hog-to-hog time. So you'd heard some 9-5s, some 10-5s, and 8-6 I think is the fastest one we've had. We'd call that almost probably firm weight.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, absolutely.
I assumed it was going to run straight. It just didn't move at all.
Calling one of the boys' games yesterday, we got a teammate was asked for a 6-second one.
Wow.
Really wanted to move some rocks on that one.
Hard! You got it, hard!
And this one's starting to curl, really trying to hold the sweep.
You got it. Really good.
Yeah.
Holds it past
Ooh.
both those rocks. Great scrub by the inside sweeper there.
And a big effort keeps her shooter around. Really great separation between those two yellow rocks sitting.
Yeah, keeps the shooter and keeps counting too. So pressure is back on Scheel to make a good one. I think they're probably just going to try and throw a nose hit here. I think the worry is if you roll towards the center, you're just giving Hagenbuch another rock to freeze on. So just a nose hit to sit counter in the back 8 foot, I think would be the best option here.
Hard, Tess, hard!
You know, I almost like a draw
Just play it,
here
just play it.
for Scheel.
Good job. 10-4.
I think that's an option. I think part of the reason of throwing the hit is they might want to bring that top 12-foot rock into play. So if they ever get a hit and roll out here, they could hit that other red on the right-hand side, or sorry, the other yellow on the right-hand side and sit 2 and bring that top red into play.
Yep, or leave a rock that, depending on what team Hagenbuch does, might leave a nicer double for them
And I don't mind it.
to eventually sit 2.
Okay.
Yeah, Hagenbuch, you can see there indicating she's fine with a roll either side. Just doesn't want to leave kind of an option for Scheel to respond. And they're on this out of hand, working hard on it. And Lauren with a really nice sweep there. We'll see how far this rock rolls. Unfortunately, rolls a little too far. So with that red being second counter, I think again we'll see Scheel throw this hit. Ideally, they probably roll in front of that rock in the back 12 foot to set up a difficult hit for Hagenbuch on their next one.
Oh, disagreement here between the skip and the thrower.
Yeah, I'm not sure who was calling what on that, but yeah, unfortunately, either way, it's going to overcurl. They're going to hit and roll out. So opportunity for Hagenbuch to draw one into the 4 foot and put some pressure on.
Yep, I think Jordan had a sense there that it was going to curl a little bit more than Miranda thought. One of those classic disagreements.
Yeah, and I think especially when you're the sweeper in that situation, you might see the rock come out a little lighter than you were expecting. Your inclination is just to kind of jump on it early. With that lighter weight, it'll curl probably a little more.
Okay.
But Tessa handled that well. Chose to listen to her skip.
Okay.
I usually just listen to whoever's loudest. That way no one can
That
get
is a
mad at me.
strategy.
I don't even like the edge of the sheet. I was like,
I think ideally, Hagenbuch would like to be able to take out that red and sit 2, but with it fully buried behind the center guard, they will throw this draw here.
Big ad. Big ad. Close.
Isabella letting her sweepers know she gave that a positive release, a nice extension as she let it go. Always good to keep the communication up on these pressure draws.
Push, Riley! Push hard! Hard push! Hard push! Hard up!
See, trying to get it perfectly behind those 2 higher rocks.
I like 11 here.
Really nice, right above tee.
Yeah, it gets it about half buried. We might be seeing a little bit less finish on these rocks as the week is going on. Again, we textured them or gave them a little rough kind of sandpapering before this week started to give them a nice curl, a nice bite. But as those rocks are used in every game and every practice, it ever so slightly starts to go away. So we'll probably see a little less curl as the week goes on.
You have to take half. Yeah, I do.
Now there is a potential jam possibility here for the Scheel rock sitting at the back of the rings, currently 3rd.
Yeah, I'm curious what weight they're calling with a broom like this. You can't really see a lot of that yellow, and obviously they'd love to keep their shooter around to bring that 2 into play. Sounds like a control weight, a 10.5 or an 11. That's a beautiful shot. We'll see if the shooter sticks around.
Good.
And actually
Very
getting that
nice.
back rub on the yellow helped
Really
them
good
to count
manage.
2. Yes, well managed. A lot quieter than their last shot and a much better result.
I'm not 2.
I know.
Tough decision time here for Hagenbuch. You know, that hit definitely isn't easy on the shooter rock that rolled to the side of the 12-foot. But I think it's too early to try draw for the steal. So probably going to try and make this hit
I think.
and give Scheel a similar hit back for 2.
Not much.
I knew it was gonna be close.
I think even if she gets her 2.
Is this one in?
Yeah. No.
The double. I saw that it touched it.
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. It moved it enough. Now we're definitely.
Yeah. I think we were 2 before because I was just barely under half, but now we're definitely 2. Gotta stick around for sure. Oh my gosh, my foot just moved. That was annoying. Yep.
Sweeper's on this right out of hands.
Really gotta go, May. Hard. Really hard. Really, 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 really hard, May. All the
Working
way
hard
for
for a
me.
piece.
Oh no.
And unfortunately, this
Ooh.
rock's just going to curl past. Sounded like that was closer to control down than the control that they
15-5
were
should be
looking
top
for.
4 on its own.
Gives Miranda an opportunity here to draw for 3.
15, 6, 15, 8.
Anywhere in the full 12-foot will do it.
15-5 is top 4 on its own. Yep.
We know she had her draw weight dialed in from last end, so let's hope she can replicate one here.
Didn't get much. Should be close. Back 4! T, back 4! Really? I didn't think it was little. No, don't touch! Just clean. Don't touch!
And just a nice clean on this as it comes into the house.
Really good.
It'll sit in the back 8-foot, but a nice 3 there for Scheel. So perfect start to their game. They got the blank, they got the force, and now they got 3.
On that same path.
So they'll be very happy with that start. And we'll be back after this.
Yeah, I think it's just a little fresher out there. Works out. Really good.
Twin Cities Orthopedics is ready to go with more doctors, specialty services, and convenient urgent care locations. Ready, set, TCO.
And we're back to the 2023 Junior National Championships, starting end 4. Scheel going to go to the top 4, stick with the strategy that has been working with them. This is our currently quickest game on the ice, starting end 4. Everyone else is still in end 3, but we'll get to a score update when they wrap up.
Draw.
And again, Hagenbuch happy here to just call the hit. Again, have an opportunity here to possibly try a corner guard and get a little more aggressive, but are sticking with the strategy.
Yep. Yep. Yep, right to it. Yep, right to it hard. Right to it. Hard, 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 hard. Okay. That's okay. That's my bad.
And a nice nose hit there. Seems a little similar to our second end. I think we're going to see a trading of takeouts here until one of the teams blinks.
Yep. Hard, Joel. Hard.
Jordan working hard on this one, sweeping it all the way down.
Nice shot, Tess.
Really good sweep.
9-4.
Just off nose, but we'll keep that on the center line in a really good spot. Isabella's calling for more of a hit and roll here. Again, with the hammer, they'd love to spread that house out and get some counters in that outer 12-foot red ring.
My right hand is so cold.
Just taking a little more broom here, probably trying to hit about half to 3/4 of a rock and get that roll to the side of the house.
Hagenbuch again deciding here to not put up a corner guard.
I think it's 3. I think
Yeah, I think if you don't call it on your first one, they're probably not going to call it on their second one. So it looks like they're going to stick with their original strategy. We'll see at what point they make an adjustment. 10 ends, they have a bit of time, but would really like to get their 2 here and tie this game up.
Yep. So similar looking end here to what we saw in our first 2 ends. Again, as Connor said, just waiting for the first team to blink
Nice shot.
and seeing where the rocks land when they do.
And Tessa with a great first 3 rocks there.
Yeah, I've been having trouble hearing today too. It's really loud. Yes. Yep, hard. Yep, hard.
Sweeper's hard right out of hand on this shot.
Jordan, are you gonna throw her?
Big roll. We'll see if it hangs on.
Just sometimes.
Okay, really good.
Nice shot. That's a beauty.
Ooh, and it just does.
I like long roll. I don't mind sticking here.
Yeah, so what you're going to be seeing on these hits is Scheel's going to be, again, trying to draw the play towards the middle with these hits and rolls, and Hagenbuch is going to be drawing it to the outside. So we're seeing less of the nose hits and more of a hit and roll, which is a pretty difficult shot here, especially to throw it continuously.
Yep. 9-5. Close. Nice shot, Joe. Whoa. I was rolling. Got a 9 on that.
All right, right to the 4-foot.
What'd you say?
Yeah, nice hit and roll right back to the middle there.
Yeah, I knew it was a little off.
Also changes the distance we were in the house. We were getting close to that top 12-foot, almost hitting and being outside the house, but now we've kind of reset that, being behind the tee line. So can still trade a couple more hits here. You know, Kelsey, I know we have some exciting players here. Do you have any fun facts about them or any cool wisdom you'd like to share with the fans?
I mean, they're 2 very decorated teams. Recently, the Scheel rank were the 2023 USA Junior World Representatives. They won this event last year. In fact, last year they pulled off the juniors double, winning both the U18s and this event, the U21s.
Wow, that's impressive.
Mine's good. Back 8.
You know, back in my day, we didn't even have U18s, so we didn't have the opportunity to win both. But that's incredibly impressive from this Scheel rank.
14-3.
I mean, now there's even a designated U25 team.
Just back 8.
Really just ahead of your time, some might say.
A pioneer, if you will.
Yep.
So it looks like Hagenbuch rolled out on their last one. Scheel's going to draw another one in, and we're still trading hits.
Control. It's okay.
That rock sitting in the back of the house out of play might be a rock that Scheel could try and freeze on if there's ever a miss here or a hit and roll out. Again, put some pressure on. Not a ton of rocks here to hide behind or use. But it looks like a nice nose hit here, a little bit of a roll, and they'll be happy with that.
I just like nose. Control.
Jordan, the lefty, coming out with a normal weight hit.
Close. Yep. Just close. Yep.
And Sweeper's just cleaning this for a nice nose hit.
10-1. Really good.
A lot of high percentage shooters out here. I don't have the data in front of me, but I think we're in the mid-90s, it feels like. I haven't seen a lot of misses.
Absolutely. Although at the same time, not a lot of draws.
I was wondering about that. No, I like tried to
You
figure out.
always
true.
hate to see when the curling stats come up and you see a really nice number. You know, curling anything above 80 is pretty great. Above 90, you're
Yeah, that's usually only for leads. Throwing those same shots.
But then you usually always see the statistic as both your percentage for hits and your percentage for draws. So you hate to see a 50 go up when you missed one out of your 2 draw attempts.
Yeah, and I think that's just part of the way these skips are calling the game. Without any guards, we've seen obviously more of a conservative game. So way more hits and takeouts than, again, guards and draws. So we'll see if that changes in the second half. But right now, that's the strategy both teams are sticking with. An interesting wrinkle now with the juniors as well is they're able to talk to their coach during their 1-minute breaks between ends. So again, to date myself, we would have to wait until the 5th end or a timeout to talk to our coach. But being able to check in after each end and just make sure your strategy, everyone's on the same page, or if there's a big end like giving up a 3 to settle yourself down and kind of rebound here in the 4th.
Again, at many national and even world level events, your coaches are even out in an arena with you. Unfortunately, here at Broomstones, we don't have the floor space to get your coach out there too. Also, it's pretty cold for them. I can tell you from personal experience, it gets cold out there when you're not doing anything.
Yeah, I don't think the coaches like being out on the ice, but they certainly enjoy the communication with their team.
Oh, I love being out there. It really helps you hear all their communication, helps you, figure out what might be going on a team beyond just the shot percentages.
Definitely. Yeah, you'll notice some of our officials here in the backgrounds bundled up in their parkas because they're just doing a lot of standing and watching. And it's about 38 degrees out there on the ice, so it does get chilly.
Thank goodness for that sponsor with Columbia, or else they'd be suffering a lot more. And you can get your USA Curling Columbia merch at usacurling.org right now.
Hagenbuch sweeping this hard, trying to keep it in, and unfortunately just going to roll out. So again, kind of a half make there. Would have obviously liked to stick it on the nose and make Miranda throw this takeout, but again, she's just going to have a free draw here. So she's going to look to put this right in the top 4 foot on the center line and make this final peel really difficult for Isabel.
Feeling it out either way, so I don't mind top 12 here. Sounds good. Still thinking 15-4? Yeah, I like 15-6. Okay.
And just to update the scores while we wait for this shot from Miranda, Berg and Ponzio are tied after 3. Ponzio took 1. On sheet 3, Pekowitz stole 1 in the 3rd. They're up 3-1 on Ryerchuk. And Johnson stole a big 4 in the 3rd end. They're up 6-0 against View.
4, 5.
Miranda getting up and sweeping her own rock here, but I think it's okay. And they'll polish that one in nicely to the 4 foot.
Very nice.
Beautiful. Absolutely dialed in on that draw weight. Is that the second one to cover the pin?
I believe so.
I don't know if you heard her. She said, I wish that was my LSD.
Ooh. Yes. Hagenbuch did win the draw to the button challenge before to determine hammer.
Yeah, I didn't see where they ended up. I just saw them hang the hammer after the rocks were thrown.
We've been doing this. It'll be okay. If it does, you can call me out on it.
So a similar shot to what Hagenbuch had in the second, where she unfortunately wasn't able to get the roll out here. So they'll try and make an adjustment and make sure they get that roll out.
Yep, you heard them comment that we haven't really thrown this line yet.
Yeah, it's always tough when you're kind of working on the center line here. Sometimes I feel like the center line can act like a bit of a ridge, and until you get over that hump, you know, you're kind of going back and forth.
And then once you do,
this one curling, sweeper's working on it hard.
Hard roll.
I think they'll be okay. Big roll, hard roll, hard roll.
Hard out, all the way.
And a nice shot there.
Really great.
Well managed. So with that blank, we'll head to the fifth. 3-1 Scheel. We'll be back after this.
They're just playing hits. I honestly love top four. Oh. If they're playing hits?
Yeah, I've never.
The everyday person may not aspire to be a professional athlete or an Olympic athlete. You may just want to be the best person you can be. You just may want to sleep better. You may want to feel better. Thorne has many products that can support all of those things. So it's not just about performing or running faster or jumping higher. It's those little things that go into having a higher quality of life.
And after that blank end, it looks
Sorry,
like
I always put it on the
Scheel's
wrong
going to
side.
open up. I'm not sure if they called a close guard there, or are they going back to the top four?
Thank you.
I mean, currently, their call to the top four has been working for them.
Yeah, this would be an interesting kind of decision point here with the fifth end. A little early to maybe start trying to manage the hammer.
Always straight.
So it looks like they are switching, calling the close guard as opposed to the top four. So maybe we'll see a little more action this end and some more draws.
Straight. Looks like it's done. Always straight.
As tight
Always straight. 2-3.
But
And
they
Jordan
do
trying
it
to,
Okay, you're okay.
right in the middle there.
That works. Nice shot.
and a beautiful shot. Center line,
5.
splitting the center line, and a nice two guard. And we'll see Hagenbuch also up the aggressiveness here, going with the corner guards. So we're going to start with two guards. Expect to see an aggressive end here for sure.
Lots of rocks in play. That's what the viewers like to see.
That's what I like to see.
See the drama unfold.
2 is fine. Oh, we are red. 2 is fine. 2 is fine.
Sweepers like it, just watching it kind of
Right
curl over here to the
here,
side.
Right here, May. Right here. Oh, you're good, you're good, you're good. Okay, that's okay. Really
And
good.
very nicely placed.
Yeah, maybe got a little further out to the edge than they would have liked. Probably wanted to guard more of the 8-foot there, but still definitely something they can use.
Line's good. Lots of room. Close call.
So Tessa's just going to try and wrap one around here to the top four.
You're forward.
Starting to dig in. Sweeper working hard on it.
Curl.
And unfortunately, that's going to come up a little bit short.
Might have.
Ooh, sweeper saying that thinks the rock might have picked or hit a small piece of debris on the ice, changing its trajectory, its speed, and unfortunately there's nothing you can do.
I say that every time I miss, though, too. So,
That rock shouldn't have done it. It had something under it. I thought it was
no, but it did look like they thought it was pretty good, and then halfway down started to dig in.
But still not a bad result. Continues to block off that center a little bit. Control the center.
That's the thing. Holy Moses. It was running pretty normal.
Hagenbuch
I don't know.
wanting to use that corner
That's
guard.
okay. Yeah, I guess.
She's set up, but just a little heavier than she was looking for, and that'll go right through the back of the house.
Yeah, a bit too much of an adjustment there. With the heavier weight, it didn't curl as much, and unfortunately, that'll go right through.
Yep, of course, the straighter the rock path, the
Lots of room. Gotta curl. It looks really up.
heavier the rock will seem, the deeper it'll go on the sheet.
But it still looks up. Top 8, top 4.
one of the many, many things these players have to take into consideration
14.
as they're
Just a lot
learning
of
the
weight.
ice and
Over-adjusted
throwing their
there.
rocks.
So Tessa also making a bit of an over adjustment there. Came up light on her second one, and the third one's going to be a little heavy as well. We'll see if it sticks onto the back. And we'll grab a piece of the 12-foot. They would have liked that in the 4-foot, that blue circle, but they'll be okay to be counting one here. Probably going to be throwing that shot a few more times this end. Hagenbuch is going to try and utilize their corner here. With that rock sliding to the back 12, they have a great opportunity to bury one and be shot.
Riley's rock always. Riley's rock always.
Sweeper's just heavy cleaning on this.
Look.
Again, looks a little heavier than they're expecting.
Close. Get push. Get push. Oh.
And they'll give this a nice polish over, bury it behind the guard, and that's a perfect shot.
Very nice.
Yep.
I don't think we're seeing a blank this end, Kelsey.
Oh, we still could. The blank is always in play.
It's I don't mind it. Yeah.
You know, I think it's probably either or on this. I might stick to that intern, again, coming wide around the left-hand side because that's what they've called and might know that line a little better. But I think kind of either or kind of option for this shot.
Yep, but it is a new thrower now, so...
Curl side.
Yes, Jordan,
Definitely.
the lefty.
Always
So,
curl side.
as a
Ooh,
lefty
love a
myself,
lefty.
we definitely do prefer our intern draws, so maybe that had to do with some of the thinking on that as well.
Hard curl. Hard curl. It's really hard. Gotta go.
Really sweeping on this for the weight.
Hard.
Really
Hard
wanting to get
curl.
this behind those red rocks. And unfortunately doesn't get full coverage there.
I think they did get shot rock though, so does force Hagenbuch to deal with this. But yeah, if they drag that another 2 feet, it's probably perfect. But a nice throw either way.
Yeah. My second one definitely picked. Because
So Hagenbuch, I think, will try and hit about as much as they can see of that rock and try and roll one again under their corner guard and try and start stacking them up here if they will. Sweeper's working hard on this one.
Yep. And really has to go. Ooh.
Unfortunately, just rubs that center line guard. Again, had to be so precise with that, really hitting as much as they could see to try and keep their shooter.
Little tap is good too.
I like the little tap. Tessa and Miranda are going back and forth here between a guard or a tap.
Yeah, I kind of like the center then.
I like it too.
Center,
The
if you're
tap
top 12, that's fine.
would still leave them only sitting 1.
I actually like a big draw. I guess we still have Hein throwing, so this would be an out-turn draw for her. But I like the big swinging draw around the outside. I think you can almost bury one and draw on for a second counter to the full 4.
Mine's good.
I agree, the tap might be tough because you'd only be sitting 1. But I think you really got to get a counter somewhere closer than the 12-foot or the 8-foot if you want to steal here.
Yeah.
Really good. Gotta sit here. 16-6.
This is a good option as well. You know, that draw around the left-hand side isn't going anywhere. And they can protect their 1 here as well.
There you go. Very nicely lined up.
it's a good spot.
Yeah, no option for Hagenbuch to try and
16-6.
hit what they can see because you can't see really any of it. So not sure if they're calling a straight peel here, or you could also kind of have a run back and roll over to a corner guard.
Yep, so we'll see Riley Kraft's first shot.
And kind of an in-betweener there,
Place it.
but they'll do the straight peel.
Makes the decision easy for Scheel. Put that rock back. I like where it was.
Yeah, she might be saving that draw for one of her shots, or that tap. Again, just kind of running Hagenbuch out of rocks here because they're shot, so they want Hagenbuch to kind of make a move as opposed to themselves, I think. This rock taking off early.
Ooh.
They got to get it
Slowing
over.
down.
Did it just get
Come on,
inside?
Tess.
Huh?
And
Oh.
unfortunately, that rock will be hogged. We do not count the junior houses here. So an opportunity for Hagenbuch
About the same
to
split.
do something big here.
Yeah.
Yep, that junior house being that light gray set of rings you see just in front of our players here. Even the young ones use the same rocks as these national level curlers here. We just ask that they go a little bit shorter.
Yeah, so again, to date myself a little bit, when I was growing up doing juniors, we had 3 different sets of rocks. So we had the full 42-pound rocks, we had these middle rockers, which I believe were 26 to 28 pounds, and then we had these rocks, we called them the ice chip stones, that I think weren't anything harder than plastic. Those are for the rink rats to kind of just play around with and have a good time out on the ice. But yeah, they made that change
It's slowing down a bit.
pretty long time ago now to the one set of rocks. Makes it easier to manage the rocks. We used to keep all of our rocks out on the ice. You have to make sure they get cold. A whole big thing. So I think this is just easier for everyone to have one set of rocks, one sheet of ice.
Still slowing down. I'm thinking of 15,
And
15-2 here.
I think it's nice for our younger curlers to get a feel for the rocks and feel like not too many adjustments are being made. They're using the same rocks as maybe Ma and Pop. In fact, in the wide shots, you'll even see a closer set of rings. So every few years, we just ask them to go a little farther.
Yeah, and I remember when I was growing up, those rocks always played a little different, so we were always trying to get up to the big rocks as fast as we could. So starting the kids on it, I think, is a good Plan as well. Scheel's going to go back to her in-turn draw here. Again, that wide, swinging around the outside.
Yep. Deciding now is the time to strike. Use those guards they set up and...
Yeah, that rock was slipped just behind the tee line, fully buried. But Hagenbuch, I think, is going to try a freeze here, try and generate a skip's deuce.
It seems like it. Which is
No, because I definitely felt heavy there.
yeah.
You
Well,
know, they would possibly have an option here to try maybe a low weight, kind of hack weight tap. If they wanted to bring that side yellow back into play. The freeze here is kind of committing to shrinking that scoring zone to the 4 foot.
I think so.
I think because it's fully buried, it's a little intimidating to try and take that on. And looking at the scoreboard, they really want to score here, so I think they'd be happy with one as well.
Keep your roam down because mine curl a little bit more, remember?
Ice is just dying really fast here. And it's only the 5th.
I will resign. I do think the blank is gone.
We need to talk to Christine about it. I don't think it's going to completely come back. I think we just need to keep our weights up because at this point we can afford to be a little heavy. Because even that second guard and the 2 that died over here.
Gotta go! I think you gotta go! Hard line! Hard line!
No.
Bella's first. The sweepers seem to like it pretty well.
Hard curl!
Yeah, it needs to curl. They gotta get this over.
Making that slight line adjustment.
I don't have
Got shot. I think that works out.
any of it.
Scheel definitely has an opportunity to freeze on that or to tap it out. But for now, Hagenbuch is counting 1.
Yeah.
Also, by tapping that rock, they've opened up kind of that pick or tap on the center line side. So you can see a little more of that rock sticking out on the right-hand side. Might be an interesting hammer shot, depending on what Scheel does here.
Same lead here.
Yep, and I think
Yeah.
Miranda did elect to just tap that yellow rock back, maybe.
We'll just curl it early and we can tap
Yeah,
it
I think here you're thinking kind of a draw plus a couple feet, kind of letting your sweeper manage it. Obviously, light doesn't help them here, so I think the pro side is to throw the weight or a little extra.
And only need to move that yellow rock that's sitting about an inch to sit 2 and be in a pretty good position for the force.
Give it a bit. Back 8! Back 8! Lot of curl. Back 8!
Tessa calling back 8 out of hand. She'll try and work this one over. Seems like the weight is fine. Just trying to get the weight or the line right. Apologies.
I got the yellow.
And she makes a really nice one here. Gets the
Beautiful.
tap, gets a little roll. And we'll sit 2 in the 4
I mean,
foot.
really good, but it's way more open on this side, and we have a little bit more room.
Sits 2. There's really no way to get both of those rocks out.
I think it's here.
And this is where you hope that Bella has her draw weight.
Yeah, a bit of a pressure shot here with the scoreboard and this being the 5th end. I think Hagenbuch's really going to want to get this
I
point.
think we could get to the center, but
Joe.
also I lost my toe dip right
No,
there. it was in the hat. Tessa had to pull it up, and she was like, "Is this either mine or Jordan's?" And I was like, "I feel like it's different." What'd you have on my last one? Yeah.
Got about a full 6 feet of ice here on this draw, so it still shows you how much our ice is curling here.
Last rock here before the 5th end break.
Gotta be full. We gotta move.
This rock has some curling to do.
Always curl.
Absolutely. You see May trying to work it over. Looks like they're also going for weight at this point. Will it get far enough to get shot? Ooh. Fortunately, does not quite get there.
Riley.
The Scheel rink will steal their 2. And the players will go and meet with their coaches for the second half of this game, because it is time for the 5th end break, brought to you by Warm Room Hero, the intuitive curling club software that takes the stress out of schedules, registrations, and more. Warm Room Hero, a platform built by curlers for curlers. Check out Warm Room Hero at curling.club today, and we will be right back.
Let's say you're in high school and there's a sport you like, but sometimes you think, you know, it might be cool to try a new sport.
Twin Cities Orthopedics is ready to go with more doctors, specialty services, and convenient urgent care locations. Ready, set, TCO.
Again, we go under the corner guard. Okay? And then if they throw a guard, then we just make sure we hit the guard and try to roll for it.
15-5.
So maybe in the middle, it's maybe still okay, but because the humidity outside, we're getting some frost. Besides the sheets. Hopefully it won't.
I think we have plenty of time.
Oh, you can take this one inside and eat it if you want it. Okay. I have 12 more.
So you're gonna get a little snap.
I'm like, a little snacky, dude.
That's all I have to say.
Okay. Only reason Christine coaches our games is to get a nice snack.
You didn't bring that vest out.
We can throw that away as we walk out.
They kept telling me that my
I'll get you next time.
I know it's going to be hard because our shots are about to get really simple, but I'd love if we could play a little bigger. A little bigger? A little bigger. No, bigger. A little more. Okay. Like, you made like a huge-ass drum, and no one high-fived you. And I was like, poor Jordan. I was giving you a high five in my head. Yeah. To be honest, I have no idea what you're talking about. Okay. It's okay.
I know what you're talking about. I felt it.
Yep. They kept telling me.
Okay. Okay, I'm going down. You have a minute left. We are up first. Do you have your gripper? Jeez, that was right in my face.
I'm pretty sure he just
I think
got
it's down
all of
there.
us.
It's okay. It'll be okay. It's on your shirt.
Take this off.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
No.
I can just make this rock things full. Nothing's under it. Oh wait. I might give this one a tish more, but not really. I just don't like this rock.
Sophia, I feel like you were a ballerina in a past life.
And we're back for the sixth end here. Scheel up 5-1. Starting off with a rock here in the top 4 foot.
Yeah, and of course, thank you to our friends at Floor Curl USA. USA Curling member clubs are entitled to a 20% discount on any Floor Curl inflatable rink set. The rinks only take a minute to inflate or deflate and are the perfect way to promote your club, especially at summer festivals, events, or really anywhere that have a flat surface, especially as we reach the summer months when a lot of ice is melting across the U.S. So a great way to promote your club for the fall season to start back up again, and no ice required, no AC. Save on those heating bills. You can visit usacurling.floorcurl.com and use the promo code FCInflatable20 to get that 20% discount. Again, that's FCInflatable20.
Great way to introduce our next generation of junior curlers to the sport if you're not near a club, or if your club is melting the ice for the summer, as we will be right after this spiel, or national event, I should say.
It's supposed to get up to 70 today in Boston.
Just top 4. Still
Next
looks
week,
up.
I heard, is going to be up to 80.
Still looks up. Don't touch.
I'm melting up here already.
Don't
We're in
touch.
the
Really
upper
up.
echelon here of Broomstones on the second floor.
Really up, like through.
And with a packed house
Hey,
here and
we
pretty
don't
warm weather
quite
outside,
need
it is
this
toasty in here, I would say.
Throw.
Not to mention all the hot shots that are taking place this weekend.
Yeah, definitely. So I think we're seeing a little bit of that fifth end mop catch up with Team Scheel. So it looks like the first two coasted through the house. Hagenbuch started off with a corner guard, and they're going to try and draw one under here. So a bit of a change of pace here for Scheel to not have their ends set up like they're traditionally used to. Hagenbuch definitely needs some points here. So we'll see how aggressive they come out here in the sixth end.
Sorry, I thought they gave that
And
one
just to give an update on the other games, on sheet 1, Berg versus Ponzio. Berg stole a point in the fifth, so they're up 4-2.
I don't know.
On sheet 3, we've started the sixth end. It's currently tied, and Pekowitz has hammered. And on sheet 4, we're still on the fifth end. Johnson is up 6-2. View was able to take a 2 in the fourth. Looks like Johnson is sitting 1 now, though.
Just do it. Yeah. Okay.
And that come around the corner guard, slipped a little bit into the back of the house. Scheel's going to use that to their advantage and try and freeze on it as well.
Yep, already trying to shrink that scoring area up.
Yeah, and I think especially when Plan A didn't work with those 2 rocks in the top 4 and that rock behind the T line, it's a prime opportunity to try and freeze here.
Straight. 8-9. Line's good. Line's good. 8-9. Gotta curl still. Gotta curl. Really gotta curl here.
And unfortunately, just a little more weight than they were expecting. We're trying to sweep it for line until about halfway down when they realized it had weight on it. So they're going to rub off that yellow and sit in the back 12. So opportunity here to draw in for Hagenbuch to sit 2.
Sorry, those are 3 awful rocks. Okay.
Sweepers think it's heavy out of hand, looking at possibly sitting on that rock in the back 12-foot, that red rock.
If we're up, go.
And it looks like that's the call they're going to switch to here. So sweeping hard to hold it on.
Foot off the rock.
Okay, that's fine.
And they'll tap that red rock out, but still sit 2.
I like his nose. Or do you like the peel? I like hitting on the inside.
Interesting to see Scheel change it up
You
here. They
can't
tried the
flop
freeze on their
under.
first one, but are now considering the peel.
There's no roll under.
I look at that as possibly 2 rocks you could freeze on.
Let's just peel.
Oh, absolutely.
Nose is
A little bit
good.
of a pocket, almost.
I think so as well.
Normal.
Although it looks like they might be okay with... Never mind, I thought they were going to possibly try the straight peel or the straight run. Looks like they're going to throw an inside-out hit here. Try and make this double.
Yep. Yep.
Sweepers on her right away.
Hard. Hard.
Getting around that guard.
That works. Good.
And
It's a pretty good
move
result
one.
there.
Ends up shot still.
Yeah, I think if you did that same thing with a freeze, though, you might have been able to keep the backing. Probably a little tougher of a shot.
Okay. They're locked.
Maybe an interesting option.
Normal. I do too.
I think if we
Hagenbuch also going to try and return the hit here. They'll probably try and get a little separation between those 2 yellow stones.
Okay. Yes.
And May 2nd is on the way.
Yeah, I will say I am loving May's bubble braids here today. She's been sporting them all week, and they look fantastic.
That's okay.
Will you braid my hair, Kelsey?
If you had any left, Connor.
Oh,
Double there.
that hurt.
I like just normal. Do you like firm?
But a nice
Sorry.
hit here.
I like
They'll
normal.
get to the nose, so not the roll they wanted, but they're still sitting 2. Scheel can take maybe an aggressive line here to try the double. Again, they could also try the nose hit or the hit and flop in front of that back 12 yellow.
Yep. Hard, Tess. Hard.
And again, sweeping this one right out of hand the whole way. Tessa doing her best to hold this one.
Hard, gotta go.
Gets it past the guard
That's fine.
and gets a bit of a roll inside.
Yep. Again, only able to remove the one back
A
there.
little tight on the side.
That yellow right behind that guard proving
She said a little tight on
tricky,
the side.
unwilling to cooperate for the Scheel rink.
Sorry,
Yeah, and as they start to kind of stack up the rocks here, it'll definitely be interesting to watch the angles on any sort of doubles or run backs.
Yes, line. Yes, line. Okay.
Riley Kraft asked to remove the red rock.
Hard.
Riley
Really got to
Kraft,
go on this one.
Hard, Lauren. Hard on the way.
and they do, but they likely just
that's okay.
roll out. Ooh.
Yeah, catches a piece of their back yellow, but does still spin up.
Do you have
So
any?
might have just gotten that one started. Again, those inside-out hits for me are the trickiest ones to broom.
I think I just like going
Absolutely.
to it.
You don't get a lot of good looks at that line, and when you need to make one, definitely makes it tough.
Okay, I don't need that.
Seems like those lines can
Back
often have a
here?
mind of their own as well.
Definitely. So Scheel going back to their strategy to start the end with the freeze.
Line's good. Line's good. Gotta curl then. Gotta curl then. Hard curl.
Again,
Hard
this
push.
rock is a little heavy, so they're going to try and push this over and catch a piece of that yellow,
Hard
hopefully.
push. I don't think we have a piece. You're good. You're good.
Jordan really working,
13-9.
unfortunately
13-9.
unable to
short up
change
here,
the outcome
so-
of that shot.
Or do you like out here? No, it was It was space.
Sweepers letting Jordan know that was a 13-9 hog-to-hog time. Again, if you remember earlier in the game, we were around a 15-4 or 15-0. So definitely had a little too much on that one.
No, you're good. Honestly, I didn't hate more. It's just, I called wide enough.
How much?
No, I was wondering.
Bella's still coming around this corner guard. She debated a little on whether she should split the house, maybe go visit the other side of the rings.
I like coming down this side as well. I think with that rock in the back 12, if you were to get one in front of the tee line, you could kind of protect your two there, and if you fully bury it, they're never going to be able to make that double. Unfortunately, again, a little too much gas on that one. I think we've really gotten this inside-out line of speed. I think that's the fourth one coming down there in a row.
Yep, and Riley's first draw since the halfway break.
Even if we're just here, that's fine.
Yeah, I like Miranda talking about still calling the freeze. I think the pro side on this is maybe a little light or a little tight to possibly rub that guard if they are going to be that close to it. Maybe heavy and tight,
I'm thinking
probably.
14-7 to 15 here. Yeah, I was going to say the fifth draw. We've been throwing like 13-8s here. We need to throw.
Discussing the weight here.
Even a 15.
Miranda has been absolutely on in being able to find the pin. So I expect a great shot here. Let's see if that fifth end break affected her at all.
5-6. Cave a little. 5-6. Mine's good. 5-6.
Again, I think this rock has plenty.
Whoa! Never straight. 7-8. Never straight. 8-9. Never 10.
Here, Tessa calling out as she came down the ice, realizing that the rock was going a little further, gliding a little bit.
Yeah.
Still getting shot, but out in the open.
So if we go there, then
And you hear Tessa letting Miranda know that was another 13-9, so a little faster than what they're looking for. They're looking for a 15, so about a second slower than that.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
You're good.
So although they did rub off, they are still shot in the back of the 12-foot, so Hagenbuch will have to address this. Tricky little shot here. They obviously want to stick the shooter and count second, but they don't want to leave Miranda any options for a double. And again, going with that inside-out line here, I think that corner guard is just a little too close to try the outside-in throw here.
Yeah, I would agree. And again, not needing to throw crazy weight here. You want to stick around. Just enough to get the job done.
more shot than our other one.
I like saying
You like normal?
I know the weight now. There's no reason not to do it. I mean, even if I'm T, that's still really good.
Yeah. Yep.
She knows
This rock takes off pretty early. Sweepers are working hard to hold it. And they will catch it, and it'll just roll out, unfortunately.
I'm still just, you like the same ice.
So again, just a bit of a half shot there.
This ice should be good.
Very close.
I like same ice.
But we'll give Miranda here an opportunity to draw down and again try and make that freeze.
I like same thing. I'll throw a lot less. Yeah. Just needs to be half 12. Okay.
So same shot she just tried. She knows the exact adjustment she needs to make.
20. So like a 40? Yeah. Okay.
It really wasn't enough weight. I just need
Give
or
too
to
much.
bring the broom out more.
3 should be okay.
That's all
Mine's
I
3 apart.
Early on, Tessa thinks it's a little light.
Mine's good. 5, 6.
I think she's got a good one here.
Got a girl.
Really seeming to be gliding a little more than Tessa might be expecting.
Yeah, Tessa's going to try and push this one over and bury it underneath that yellow corner guard. I think she does that pretty perfectly. Almost
great.
fully buried.
5.
So decision time here.
2.
for Bella.
For Isabella, yeah, she can either
Team 5?
maybe really try and skinny by that corner guard and tick that red
Yeah.
and possibly bring 2 into play, or they could just kind of settle for the draw to the 4-foot and take their 1 and try and battle back here in the second half of this game. Probably Skip's preference, you know, you can see just a teeny tiny bit of that, and I know we have a lot of movement inside to out. So maybe trying it with kind of a board or a backline weight, just a really soft weight, squeak by that guard and pick it out.
Yeah, because she really wants to score 2 here. She needs to score 1.
Yeah, I think I like this more aggressive play here. You know, looking at the scoreboard and how the game's gone, Hagenbuch really doesn't want to be forced to 2 singles. And this is probably the best opportunity they've gotten out of 2. And with Scheel playing really well, I think you got to take advantage while you can.
Absolutely. There's a reason Team Scheel hasn't been beaten yet.
We made the shots we had to.
They're a good team.
Yes.
You have to be brave against the good teams.
For sure. The mop did speed it up a little bit. We also played on a completely different path.
Sweepers are on it. Looks really close.
Here the audible trying to curl it now.
Oh, that's a beautiful shot.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
Incredible shot by Bella. Great team shot.
Cut that for the highlights reel.
Yeah, you see May going from the inside, holding it straight, to switching around to the outside and pushing it over there. Really good footwork, really great team shot. We're back to having a game here. 5-3 after 6. We'll be back after this.
Just because you're not a professional athlete doesn't mean that you should accept less. The beauty about what Thorn does is our product quality is the same whether they're in the athletic line or whether they're just for the everyday person. Thorn has kept true to never compromising on quality, never compromising on efficacy, never compromising on safety for not only athletes but for everyone who would use their products.
And welcome back for the 7th end of the 2023 Junior National Championships. We're here watching Scheel versus Hagenbuch. The score is currently 5-3. Hagenbuch is going to start out with a center line guard. And with that, I'd like to bring you a word from our sponsor. Warm Room Hero is more than just software. It's run by curlers, dedicated to building long-term relationships with your club. Warm Room Hero provides continuous support to ensure your website exceeds your members' expectations. Check out Warm Room Hero today at curling.club for special event pricing.
We have quite the game going here. An
Yeah,
absolute
Lauren, sorry.
beauty of a shot by Bella in the 6 to get her 2.
Yes, I think that's a game saver there. Puts them right back in a good spot here. Down 2
It looks all there. It's
with 4 ends to play.
It looks all there still, though.
Yep, the Hagenbuch rank also a very experienced team here, and already have some medals to their name. Quite a few. Looks like Bella and May Hagenbuch were part of the silver medalists at mixed nationals last year.
Wow, very impressive.
Right?
It made a line on the ice that time.
We also have Riley Kraft, who is experienced at this event. Used to play with the Scheel rink, actually, and has a little bit of silverware from her days. Although I shouldn't even say silverware. Have a few gold from those days.
Always line. Top 4.
Yeah, a lot of these teams see each other at pretty regularly at these events and get to become good friends. And yeah, there's definitely some some team jockeying and some team shuffling throughout the seasons. But great to see them both here battling today.
Got a nice opportunity
And I
so
hope
she-
here. I still like
Sorry.
So Scheel just a little heavy on their first come around, and Lauren is going to draw in for a second one on the top 8 foot. So Scheel still counting in the back, but with that rock behind the tee line, Hagenbuch won't be too concerned about it.
Just top 4, close straight. Close straight. Yep. Line's good. Line's good. Call. Line's good. Line's really good. Curl. Straight. Straight. Line's good. Close curl. Close curl. Whoa, 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 whoa. Half under. Go for half under. Yeah. That's fine.
Sorry, Jordan.
14-6.
And looks like Scheel's able to fully bury this rock. Unfortunately, again, slips into the back 4 foot. So
Yeah.
Hagenbuch will draw one in here. Could either freeze or maybe sit top button to be counting. And I think
Yeah.
you'll see Hagenbuch go kind of all out for the steal here. With 4 ends left and down 2, they really need to generate some offense.
Absolutely, and after lead rocks, it's well set up for a potential steal. You have rocks behind tee line at the back of the rings. You have
Hard push.
2 high rocks on the center line.
Hard push. Hard push.
Easy to get one in there that
Okay. That's
it would be
okay.
tricky for Scheel to remove. Unfortunately, a little heavy. Didn't get as much curl as they were looking for either on that rock.
I like the hidden
A
flop.
little bit of a bump out to the
It leaves it
open.
back button. That's okay. I think.
Yeah,
this
jiggles
is
those
Scheel.
back reds a little bit. And again,
I like
kind of
the
creating a
feel.
bit of a catcher's mitt.
Would you
the
rather
draws
do
that are
this?
coming up.
Yeah.
Scheel talking about
Okay.
throwing the hit here. Again, I'm not sure
What
if
about
I love
just
that because
small out?
even if you make
That's
the hit,
right.
you're sitting
Okay.
behind the tee line.
Control.
Hagenbuch's
Yep.
probably still going to throw that same shot. Looked like they possibly looked at appeal. I think that might be my preferred shot in this scenario.
Yeah, I would agree. And you hear that discussing that too.
Close.
Again, rocks behind that tee line.
Yep. Oh. Oh.
Tessa letting her thoughts known on that one, that she
Yes.
didn't want them to be sweeping, and I think she was correct. That rock hung out a little more, and she's going to hit and roll out.
Like under again.
So not the result they were hoping for.
I would agree with that.
Tough too. I think we have really nice sweeping ice here, so it might look good out of hand. And when you start sweeping it, you can actually almost push it out just a little bit.
Right. And these sweepers, as I think is easy to tell just from looking at them, are very effective. That is not easy, folks. Putting
They're working hard out there.
so much of their body weight on those broom heads.
Line.
A lot of upper body strength in curling.
Oh, just like.
Anyone who has ever tried curling once or twice
Field.
knows that sweeping is usually the hard part. That's where you get the cardio in.
I think
Yeah, people often
last year.
come in, throw a couple rocks, and they realize throwing the rocks is difficult, and then you show them sweeping, and they're like, oh, now I'm tired.
Oh, wow. It is a sport.
Yes. I think similar to like the PGA and some other things, you can go out and golf 18 holes, but to golf 18 holes 4 days in a row at the highest competitive level, like we're seeing here, these teams are playing 2 games a day against some really fierce competition. So that's really where the grind comes in, where that endurance, I think it really separates the athletes from your social curlers, if you will.
Draw?
Unfortunate flash there from Jordan Hine.
Yeah, so she was trying to peel that yellow on the right-hand side, it looked like.
Yep, and haven't really been throwing that high of weight. I assume it's more that
I think she was inside with the top two.
at the higher weights like that, not getting at the curl that you might expect, and learning that now.
Oh, take a look.
Does open up a big opportunity for the Hagenbuch rink.
I think this
Use
rock
that
has
card.
plenty of weight.
Let it come down. Let it come. Whoa, right off.
Yeah, definitely want to make sure that this is shot.
Nice throw there. They had to sweep it a little bit to hold the line to get around that guard, which I think added a couple feet. But a nice throw there and a nice team shot. So Hagenbuch will be sitting one here.
I can't
This
hear
is
you.
in time for Scheel.
Just feel it better too. Yeah.
Really loud out there, it seems. Seems like Jordan and Miranda can't fully hear each other, but they are aligned in their goals. Both asking to peel those center 2 guards, because right now that yellow shot rock is difficult to go anywhere.
Yeah, Broomstones definitely has a bit more of an echo than some other clubs. We have these really high vaulted ceilings, and our rocks are pretty loud. We don't have a cement floor, so you can hear the rumbling a little more of the rocks. We also have some raucous fans behind the glass, so every once in a while you'll hear them perk up after a really nice shot. So Jordan will make the single peel there, not the one they were aiming for, but clears a rock out, which I think is the right move there. Hagenbuch can possibly draw another one in here, or look for a close guard.
Off of it too.
Yep.
You know, I think they'll be content to steal one, so protecting that is a good move here.
Yep, definitely looking mostly for line here. Wanting to make sure it does not leave a port that a stone could get through. And they will do just that.
Pretty perfect. Sets up a tough angle on that double there too as well. I think Scheel's going to give it a go here either way. Needs to catch maybe about a quarter of that rock and they could get both the yellows, but we'll be happy just to clear out the single as well.
Yes.
And actually touches almost all the yellows. Moves over the center line guard, takes that rock out from the top 12. Does leave the rock in the top 8, but I think it is a better setup than it was before.
Yes.
And again, now although it's second shot, those reds are really in a tough jam position here for trying to hit the yellows. But Hagenbuch will again protect their one, throw up a center line guard.
My nail kicked in the nail because it was really close to sliding.
Just the guard.
Okay.
Okay.
I've had that happen.
No, come over. 2. Just the guard.
Oh wow.
Bella's first here. I think you always like when your skip has a guard called for their shots. Usually means you set up the end pretty well.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
And as a skip, you're very happy with your front end. Skips love to have open draws and to just be able to guard an already shot rock.
I don't like that draw if they're guarding it. I think they're guarding the top one though.
This rock has a bit of curling to do. It's hanging out so far. Sweepers aren't touching it.
Might try to even encourage the curl a little bit here.
I feel like we're always jamming on
Yeah,
the
you could either
one.
play this little bump here, which I don't mind.
Cross or jamming on the 2.
Yeah, I like that.
If we're sitting
You know, I actually think that accomplishes the goal they were hoping for. Although those rocks are together and there might be a double there, I don't think you can really get that back red.
like a third.
Then half.
Yeah, and if you do get it, I think you roll over those 2 red at the back.
Do you like 11?
Yeah, I think that's your best option.
I don't mind just drawing and setting it up.
11, and you roll.
Miranda talking about maybe setting up, having a setup shot for her first rock.
I don't hate
That
this.
is a 3.
Okay. This is just going fast. 11 then. You like here? Okay.
I'm kind of fine with
Make it good.
maybe either option. I like the draw. I think Scheel might have that shot on her second one, so to try it now wouldn't be the worst thing.
Oh, wait.
I think this is tough. If she makes it, it's a really good shot.
Yeah.
But if she ever ticks off one of those front yellows,
arrow
Hagenbuch
let
will have
him
kind of the
try.
same shot here.
I don't
Yeah,
have
she
that
is
much. I
up.
kind of like hack.
Yeah, I think you could even play this with like a back line sort of weight. They only need to move that
Yeah.
rock, you know, a foot or so, or if even they sit right in front of it, they'll be shot. So I really like the lower, softer kind of weight here.
Do you like a hair more or no?
No, I like this.
Okay.
Sounded like they settled on hack.
Close. Yep. Hard. Back line.
working hard on this one, starting to curl over early. Not exactly what they were hoping for there. Does jostle the rocks around and I think opens up that rock on the forefoot.
Yes,
And I think yellow is only counting one, so kind of no harm, no foul there.
Yes.
Hagenbuch, I think, can throw up another guard, or they could really put the pressure on and try and draw one in here to the forefoot.
I would love a top center forefoot.
I think we just
Put
need
the
Yeah, I think-
pressure
I
on.
think we just need a lot more ice.
You're
for
2
that.
down.
I agree. I think we've seen a couple cracks in the armor here with Scheel missing a couple, and I think the idea would be to kind of jump on that if they could and keep the pressure up. So I might be calling kind of the in-turn draw here, going left to right and wrap one around the forefoot. It looks like they're here just calling the straight guard, which I don't mind either, protecting their one.
The straight nose hit. Over further? On the center line?
And talking about this one, they want it splitting the center line
Okay.
and about the 2 or 3 position, so just a couple feet outside the house. Again, try and keep it far enough away so Scheel can't run, but close enough so that they also can't draw around.
Yep. Big shot coming up here.
Looks like guard ice. It's definitely in.
Has plenty of weight.
Oh no, it should be good. Should be really good.
May just working on pushing this one over towards the center line.
Hard over! Hard over! Oh! Oh!
And look at that finish on that rock. Wow.
Draw to it.
Yeah, I should really like where that ended up.
I think we have to draw to it.
Very good.
Yeah.
So again, leaves
really
Scheel
far,
with
but
the draw to the pot for a single.
Ish. Draw through the port inch.
Part of the reason I like
Here, have you looked
attempting that on her last one is again because kind of could see this shot coming from earlier on, and getting 2 cracks at any shot is always good.
Just gonna draw for the one.
But she's had draw weight all night.
So like in that 14-8, 15.
I like a 15.
Team
yeah,
still talking about a
15 's
15-0,
probably
15-2
Okay.
for that hog-to-hog time. So the ice speed seems consistent here
Can I
as
get hair
we
less?
enter the
I got
last
less.
third of the game.
Yeah. Yeah. I almost like a hair less than that.
No, I like this.
Okay. Just a 15 here.
Taking about a full 4 feet of ice here, a little less than we might have seen earlier for the draws.
We have a little bit.
T! Close line! T!
Line's good. Line's good. Line's good.
Gotta go! Whoa!
Little bit of disagreement here.
This rock is not even.
And does not get there. Sweeper's thinking maybe the rock isn't the one we want to be throwing last out here. So wouldn't be surprised if they change the rocks around a little bit for this next end.
If it's the 8 rock, they don't want to be throwing it last.
I thought it was
If it's the red 8 rock on sheet 2, I would agree you don't want to be throwing
Yeah.
it last.
Yep,
Unfortunately, you don't want to be throwing the 7 or the 2 either.
Just one.
Yes,
But that's for them to find out.
a couple of landmines out there for sure. I think it's tough too to switch rocks kind of in the middle of a game, but also sometimes it makes the skip feel a little better getting a fresh stone. Sorry.
Let's take advantage of this. Yeah.
And we'll be back after this.
When
Twin Cities Orthopedics is ready to go with more doctors, specialty services, and convenient urgent care locations. Ready, set, TCO.
And we're back here in the 8th end. So again, Hagenbuch was able to steal one in the 7th end. Have had a really good, perfect start to the second half of this game. Got their deuce in 6 and stole one in 7. So we have a 1-point game here. It's 5-4. Scheel leading and with the hammer in the 8. I think you'll see Hagenbuch go pretty all-out aggressive here. We're starting to talk about a little hammer management with the last 3 ends. Teams liking to keep that hammer for the even end, the 8th and the 10th. And just to give kind of a score update, Berg is up 7-3 on Ponzio as they start the 8th end. Pekowitz is up 4-3. They blanked the 7th end, and they are also in the 8th end. And Johnson adds another one in the 6th. They are up 9-2, playing 7. Back on our featured sheet here. Hagenbuch starts with the center line guard. Scheel, it looks like, might have slipped another one through the house. And Hagenbuch is actually going to go with the double center guard. So really going all out for that steal here. Again, crucial to hold that hammer in the even ends.
You still like back or you like around?
Great double guards from Lauren Hine.
Yeah, I think both those are on the center, so we have no chance of a tick here. Scheel going to put up maybe a corner guard, or nope, I think they're going to...
Always straight. Always straight. Wait only. Wait only. Running. Watch it. Running. Watch it. Wait only. 8-9. All you. 15-6. Yep. Hard, Joel.
And not working hard to drag this one into the house. Looks like it'll grab a piece of the 8-foot. Nice draw there.
There you go. Tessa Thurlow throwing the first 3 rocks for the Scheel rank. Currently studying at University of Wisconsin Eau Claire, along with classmate Miranda Scheel.
Go Badgers.
Ever been to Eau Claire, Connor?
I have not. I don't plan on it.
I had the great opportunity to go for, I believe it was 2018 College Curling Nationals, and a lovely city. Every time I drive from Boston back home to North Dakota, I always stop in and visit the Culvers and send a Snapchat to that team.
You know, I think they have Culvers other places, Kelsey.
No, the Eau Claire one is special. A lot of good memories.
What? Just peel.
And it's also the sign that I'm almost out of Wisconsin, so I need to, you know, make sure I get the Culvers in Wisconsin because it's just not the same otherwise. I want the freshest cheese curds.
You know, that I do believe.
Okay, then let's just peel.
So Hagenbuch ends up with 3 centerline guards. Scheel now can peel.
Close, yep. Hard, Joel.
Trying to hold this one out and try and make this double.
Any roll you got, any roll.
Ends up hitting it right on the nose.
Sorry.
Better a red rock than a yellow, but not the result they were hoping for.
Really, like under? Okay.
Yeah, I think especially with 3 guards now, Hagenbuch is going to be looking for that 4-foot, looking to get their counter in now.
Absolutely. A little surprised they're not just going for the automatic hit and roll.
Wait only.
I think the hit and roll is actually one of the tougher shots. And I think they're going to be throwing this shot either way, so I'm okay with ignoring that for now.
Straight.
Might be seeing some changes in the ice speed here. Another rock coming up a little lighter than they were expecting. They won't mind that, though, just adding another guard to the pile. And Scheel will try and clear as many as they can.
Yep.
I think we have to play this one. High one might jam. We can try
Think about
it.
all the angles here.
I think I agree with, it sounds like Jordan and the Hack talking about hitting the top one as opposed to the red into the yellow. I think those ones on the center line are what's really hurting you right now. You might be able to run it back into some of the other ones. But as long as she clears 1 or 2 rocks here, I think they'll be happy with this.
Close.
Waiting for it to curl a little bit.
That's fine.
And Gets rid of one yellow.
Yeah, hit that one a little thinner than they wanted, so
better.
kind of an adjustment from the last one. But does kind of line up those guards and shrinks the space that Hagenbuch can kind of draw behind them now.
Yeah. That was my outfit.
Looks all there and more.
Riley trying to make this come around here to the top 4 foot.
Always curl. Wait for it to come. Whoa, wait for it to come down. It's all there. 14-4.
Sweeper's hoping this digs in and sits in front of the tee line. And we'll just slip into the back 4 foot, but we'll be shot for
I
now.
think we have to draw now. I think we peel one more time. I
think we have decision time for Miranda. We can listen into what they're going to talk about, but possibly sticking with the peels they opened up with, or possibly switching to a draw.
We can't peel more than one of these without leaving 2 guards. If we hit nose, we leave 2 guards. If we hit this, we leave these 2. You're never getting this one out.
Yeah, it'll flop a little bit. I think you just play like just here.
Yeah, I really like that line that Tessa and Jordan are lining up. I think you hit about the inside half of that yellow.
Yeah.
You can kind of slash it over the top. You'll lose the top yellow and the back red, and your shooter should roll over to the side.
Yeah, I also agree that your vices are there to make your life easier as a skip. You don't want to be peeling an upsetting guard on your first skip rock, so use your vice, see if they can get rid of one. I would really like to score in this end.
Really close here.
Wow,
Touches
them
them all.
Moving.
I think that was better than they could have drawn up.
Okay.
So they'll leave the shooter, the one center guard, but with it being that high, definitely negates some of the effectiveness of that.
Even leaves a
That's really good.
very wide corner guard, but
Yeah, I think they'll be happy they called the peel after that shot. Looks like Riley's just going to try and put one back in the top 12. So kind of a close guard. Probably won't be shot, but again, just trying to steal one here.
Hey. $15.5.
Starting to over curl and just poke out a little on that center line side. I think that ends up in a good spot though.
Yep. Or would you rather play this?
Yeah, it's kind of sneaky even because
I kind of like the draw better. Top 4.
Asking for stuff 'cause I can't hear you
Scheel
guys.
kind of in between shots here, was thinking about maybe the hit and roll, but we'll settle with the draw. Kind of a change from their last strategy of throwing the peels.
Should be close. Gotta curl.
yeah, Sheel's still
curl.
with 3 rocks to go, including this one. Might just be satisfied playing to the 4 foot at this point.
Curl if you can. Just top 4. Just top
15.
4. Whoa. Close curl.
In the 8th end, I think Scheel would,
On its own.
of course, with hammer you always want to try to get 2 or more.
That's pretty
But
good.
even if they were to
Yeah.
be forced to
Definitely looking
1,
better. Way to make
If
those.
we tap a little, that's okay.
make
I'd rather
sure
just go to, like,
Hagenbuch
0.
doesn't get more
If we
than
do,
2 and then
I'd
have
rather
hammer in that
not.
final
I'm kind of
10th
like
end.
just sitting here for now.
Yeah, I think Scheel would be totally fine getting one here. I'm a little surprised to see this change in strategy. I thought they were set up well to
I think it's there.
possibly try and hit that yellow or even clear out that center guard again. And again, with some of those biters and other rocks around, they could maybe bring a 2 or 3 into play. Throwing the draw kind of, again, shrinks that scoring zone, and they're probably playing for 1 now.
The draw.
But just really placing that importance on taking in the even ends.
Okay.
So Isabella's going to have a draw here. Can try and get to kind of the inside edge of that red, or maybe tap it back a couple inches as well. That rock kind of bisecting the center line, or T line, my apologies. So it just has to move it a couple inches.
Only if it's possible. If I could pick a shot that you're going to make, like a tough shot that is going to hit, okay.
First skip rock here in the 8th end.
Gotta be button. Gotta be
Sweeper's
button.
immediately on. I think it's a little light.
Girl.
Yeah, I think they got to get it there.
It's not there, though. It's not there. 100% not.
It goes as far as it goes. As far as it goes. Okay,
Line was perfect, just a couple feet less than they were hoping for. I think that sits in a good spot, though. She'll have an opportunity to tap on her second.
Absolutely a very usable rock.
What time do you have?
I don't mind
And again,
that.
kind of
I think
another
they're
decision
also
point for Scheel here. You know, you really don't want to touch those yellows because you have your red rock there, and you don't want to ever worry about a jam. But if you leave it open, you kind of know that that's going to be Isabella's shot on her next
all
one.
day. That's what I was thinking.
So it's kind of, what do you want to leave your opponent here?
I honestly was kind of thinking here. I was going to say, this was my first thought. Corner freeze on the
Of course,
inside. You
Hagenbuch
have
would
all
be
of this.
absolutely thrilled with another steal here,
That 6 is
even it
so,
up going into
so
the last
tight.
2 ends.
But I don't know. Whatever you guys are seeing.
But Miranda's had her draw weight this
We
whole
also
game.
have time.
Yeah.
Good use of a
Okay, I
timeout.
like this better.
Get the coach
I
out,
don't
discuss
mind
it a little
this.
more.
I think it does leave a double, though.
Mike is saying to throw the corner freeze on the inside.
It sounds like they're
think
talking
it's-
about the corner
I
freeze. My
think
worry
it's
there is if they're
really
ever a
hard
little
to
heavy,
just top
you know, they
four.
could juggle those yellows around. I think you could kind of accomplish the
think
same
it-
thing with a 2
I
or a
think
3
that
guard.
This is really hard to get to.
But if you make it the corner freeze, I think is probably the perfect shot.
Then she's playing
Here
this,
she
and
has
she's
it double.
So we're going to have Coach
My
Christine
gut says
McMakin.
play
We'll listen
this.
in to see what
Jordan really
she
likes
tells her
going
team.
Here. Tessa and I like going here.
I
don't
think
like
if,
going here
if we
because
play
it
this,
makes her
she's
a
playing
double.
this all day. And you have more than all of this. Right. I'm saying I think that this is really hard to sit fully buried behind. But I mean I don't hate it. I mean we can let her throw this. It's just that if we have one here, she's probably throwing that and sitting right here. To sit second and third. But then I guess we're throwing this again.
For the guard over here. Okay. I don't mind this at all. Yeah.
Great.
Okay. Throwing my 8 first, apparently.
Wow, it's almost like they could hear me down there. It sounds like
You like edge
they're
here?
calling the
I
close
think
3
that should
guard
be okay.
to protect their one there. Christine McMakin on the discussion out there asking the team kind of what option do you want to leave Hagenbuch on there last, deciding that draw to the button
Yeah. I
is a
know.
more difficult shot than
I mean,
this
you can
tap,
take a
which I
look
think
at
I
it,
agree
but-
with.
Yep, and love calling out Christine for Miranda's first rock.
Why are you throwing the A first?
I always try to tell my curlers,
Okay.
please don't call me out for your last shot. At that point, just make the shot that you think you can make. Please call me out at least with 2 rocks to go so we can talk about
65?
what's
Yep.
next.
Yes, usually the
40.
setup shot is ultimately more important than the hammer. Usually that option is
Yeah.
pretty straightforward at that point.
Less?
I don't know if
it's
you
better.
heard, but Miranda's going to be throwing her 8 rock, so switching up the order a little bit. Last end, she thought that rock might have been a bit of a cutter or just been a little lighter than some of the other rocks she throws.
2! Just a 2. 2, just keeping it clean. Finally! Always. Straight. Always straight. Not gonna touch it.
See this rock really starting to come
16-5.
over as it digs in.
Good.
But I
That's
think
better.
it covers enough of that tap to block the option. So a nice shot there by Miranda. Good team discussion. Nice shot coming out of the timeout.
I would agree. I expect Bella to now go for the draw.
I also think she might have an option if she squeaks by that center line
tap
red
it
dart
up.
to tap up that yellow with kind of a, again, a back line kind of weight, just tapping that rock to the tee line.
Guards.
Well, 'cause we sat
Might
there.
be a little easier
I'd rather go out and then
than the
push.
draw. Again, a cold draw to the side of the pin is a tough one.
Yeah, at the same time, if she is able to get in there, and again, getting to pin is not easy, it would be really tricky
To the button.
for Team Scheel to get it out of there without disturbing their red rock that's currently
All sorts
sitting.
of numbers. Oh, 414. Ooh. Okay.
And again, taking that full 6 feet of broom here to try and draw to the side of the
I'd
pin.
like
So
little
still getting a
less
lot of big
US
swing.
target, if possible. So
Might be able to see a piece. It all depends on where it ends up. Because I might just heavy draw if it's like.
Basically, just don't want to be heavy on this shot.
Or light.
Yeah. I did.
It's not the worst. A force to one's not the worst.
Let it come down if you can.
Keepers aren't touching it. Looks pretty close. Now they go as it gets towards the hog line.
I hate going
Riley!
so much.
They really gotta, I think, drag this one. Here it comes, cutting late.
Riley!
Yep, there they go,
Draw
fighting
around full 4.
against the curl.
We have room.
Unfortunately,
It's a little tight, but you just gotta be.
I thought you said I was up.
You just have to be here. Even if we wick off of this, that's fine.
And maybe a little bit of a miscommunication, or that rock just started digging in a
I
little
think this is,
earlier
I'd
than they
rather
were
wick off of this
expecting.
than touch that.
Didn't really sweep it till the last third there, and unfortunately weren't able to drag it into the 4 foot.
Okay.
Did kind of
Other side.
close down the kind of port there for Miranda to draw through. So she'll have a tough time
Just
to
draw
grab a
full
piece
four.
of the 4
Yeah.
for her too.
I just had a.
Yep,
Out of
this
my hand,
is
they
a
said it was up, so I was
tough
like, oh, okay.
I
draw
also
to
got
make.
15.5. I'm thinking a 15 flat.
Yeah, like
I think
15.
she will
also
definitely
gonna
be
be out
content
here
though to
a
get their
little more, so I
1,
don't hate a
settle
14.
themselves down after this end, but they would definitely love 2 as well.
Back 4. Back 4. Really out. Back 4.
Really out.
Coming down. Back 8.
Tapping
Back
the red.
so a little heavier than they wanted. They're going for plan B. Can we use this red rock?
It looks like they can.
Nice shot.
Oh, wow. Great audible there. Great communication through the team from the sweeper to everyone calling line.
Good shot, Miranda.
And 2 for Team Scheel.
And we'll be back after this for the 9th.
Good call. Good sweeps. I threw a lot of weight.
Twin Cities Orthopedics is ready to go with more doctors, specialty services, and convenient urgent care locations. Ready, set, TCO.
And welcome back to the 2023 Junior National Championships. You're here with Connor Hogue
It looks
and
really
my
heavy.
co-announcer, Kelsey Becker.
Coming down.
So happy to
top
be
four.
here with you, Connor.
I'm ecstatic we were able to get this together, Kelsey.
Where?
We've been talking all the time. You might as well have people listen to us, right?
We do be talking
Watch
all
that.
the time.
It's 9 here.
So as we start the 9th end here,
A little earlier.
Scheel looked like was shooting for the top 4, just a little heavy, and that will slide out the back. Up 3 here, the pro side is definitely going to be heavier on most of their shots, so I don't think they'll be too upset about that. Just to check the scores here, sheet 1 ends in handshakes. Berg steals 4 in the 8th end. That final score is 11-3, Berg over Ponzio. On sheet 3, we are starting the 9th end. We are tied 4-4. Pekowitz will have hammer in the 9th. And on sheet 4, Johnson is leading View 9-4, and they're wrapping up the 8th end now. But back on our featured sheet, Hagenbuch really needs their 2 here, so I expect to see a double corner. This
Pretty
one
wide corner there from lead Lauren Heim.
Yeah, might have just taken off on them a little bit. I think as we get into these last couple ends here, you'll see the pebble breaking down. You really want to make sure you're positive on those rotations so it doesn't kind of grab at the end.
Top 4. Got a curl.
You know, I have just kind of noticed
Just top 4.
the lead on Hagenbuch is Lauren Heim, and the third for Team Scheel is Jordan Heim. Think there might be any relation there?
I did realize that. I asked if there was any relation, but no one could confirm or deny. So I have a similar thought as you. A lot of families get into curling. I grew up curling with my brother. We had to be on opposite ends of the sheet, so we didn't strangle each other. But we had a good junior curling career together. Played together for about 5 or 8 years.
Yeah, you know, I definitely have some family members that I would rather not claim. But leave it all out on the ice, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Same.
Pretty young team, Hagenbuch here.
Are we drawing?
We have a full team of freshmen other than Bella the Skip, who is currently a junior at St. Bede Academy in Peru, Illinois, along with May Hagenbuch. Again, I assume a certain relation there.
What?
I like this attack.
The first one was just weird.
Team at 4.
And Lauren makes a nice adjustment on her second one to throw this center guard a little closer to where they want, a little closer to the house. I think they'll definitely be able to use that later.
Wait, only got a curl. Got a curl. Okay.
So Tessa's looks like maybe just going to freeze on the second rock she threw. Again, looks like Team Scheel calling a bit of an audible as this is heavier than they were expecting.
Whoa! Any roll off you got. Any roll off you got. Roll!
And trying to get separation here. Don't want to set up an easy double for
14-1.
Hagenbuch.
Probably like back
Yeah, I think that's a good result, keeping those rocks relatively even so there's no double. I think Hagenbuch is always going to be playing towards the side behind their corners. So they'll kind of try this hit and roll here with a soft,
I just get out
sounds
there?
like back house kind of weight.
A little bit of both. You were like maybe an inch.
So yeah, Kelsey, you mentioned all these college curlers here, or curlers who are in college. You're pretty involved with our college curling program here at Broomstones, is that right?
Oh yeah, running the program out here, really fun to develop. College curling a little different than what we see here at U21s. Very similar age groups, of course, but it's sort of a secondary way to get the youth into curling, maybe. So here we see, for instance, a lot of the same last names around the ice house. A lot of the parents watching, you know, probably have their curling shoes in the car and know exactly what's going on. College is a great opportunity. About, I'd say, over 90% of the participants actually learn in college. So it's a lot more similar to the U5s we see. However, if you are a curler and would like to start a college team, it is very easy to do so.
Funny enough, college was the only time I don't think I curled. I was too busy focused on my studies.
Is that what you were focused on? That's how you're spending those long nights?
Yeah, my studies 12 ounces at a time.
Yep.
Yeah, just like
so Scheel made a nice hit and roll there to pick out the yellow. They'll be sitting 3 here. Hagenbuch unfortunately rubbed off their corner guard on the last shot. She just threw a little less weight than they were expecting on that hit and over curled. Has an option here for some freezes, or possibly drawing under some of those red rocks in the top of the house.
Which one's mine? Not mine.
Oh, push if any, push if any, push.
Looks like they're trying to push this over for that freeze. Again, a corner freeze would be really good here.
Same thing here. Right to it. Whoa. That's fine.
We're 3. I don't mind this.
Pretty nice there.
I like this.
Yes, Miranda recognizing that they're still sitting 3, and instead of making a play on that yellow one, it sounds like they're going to try and lock in a fourth.
We can, like firm.
Yep, without hammer, Scheel wants rocks that are really hard to remove.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, and I like that. I think, again, not making the shot for Hagenbuch, make them make a good play on that yellow. Those angles aren't really set up great, and the kind of clean pick or peel on that rock is a really difficult shot, as opposed to this kind of draw to the top of the house they've been throwing, kind of their bread and butter here.
Got it, curl. Line's good. 3. Yup. 3. 2. 3. Hard curl then. I'm gonna let it hog. You said 3.
So Tessa making the executive decision. She doesn't want this anywhere close to the house.
Unfortunately, the decision to let it hog
went out of
didn't fully end up happening.
So Scheel doesn't want any guards there. So once they realized it wasn't going to make it to where they wanted, they thought it might be better to leave it on the other side of the hog line. Unfortunately, they ended up with a bit of an in-betweener there. So it just gets over the hog line. Not really guarding much now, but could come into play later.
Oh! Where?
Riley's going to try and throw a come around here, or possibly freeze on.
That looks always curl. That looks higher. Curl. Hard.
And it looks like this will end up kind of a tap on the nose. Sweep that. There you go. Not exactly what they were looking for, but again, keeping those rocks in front of the house, in front of the tee line, is always going to give them opportunities. Jam chance here for Scheel. So they're going to throw a firmer weight at this, even if they catch the back one. Hopefully can remove them all.
I'm seeing this.
Some discussion on this one. But ultimately just wanting to clear things up. Jordan Hine.
Normal.
Minnesota State University, Moorhead. So I assume she is out of the Fargo Moorhead rink.
Yeah, and you can see how straight they're expecting this rock to run. Miranda putting the broom right in the center of that stone, even though they're just calling a normal weight. So really getting some straight ice.
My bad, I thought
it does jam, but they'll lose both the back ones. So I think that's actually preferential to kind of what they had. So looks like Scheel will sit 2, kind of on the side of the 8-foot there. Hagenbuch has the 3rd counter, and Scheel has the 4th counter in the top 4. Hagenbuch still committed to that draw to the 4-foot. Again, really need their deuce here.
To me, it looked like it was about to take off, and then it just didn't. And I was like, oh, okay. Also, I got firm. Okay. Always curl again. Always curl. Curl. Yeah, curl. Your draws are. I guess I should have guessed because.
And again, this rock.
Sweepers might be a little less confident in the ice right now. Do you kind of sense that?
Yeah, I think just weight-wise, it's kind of been tricky, and that one was tough. They had to navigate the line on that as well. So we're trying to push it over past. Unfortunately, they tap Scheel up again into the house. Kind of give them that same opportunity to pick off the top one.
I moved her in too on the second one. I don't know.
Tricky to kind of navigate this hit. They have a couple catchers for some of those reds. But again, I think you throw this pretty hard, and even if you catch one, you should lose everything.
Control. Okay.
Calling a control weight. So a little less than maybe I was expecting.
Whoa! 10!
on it right away. And just catching that red at the back. And unfortunately do roll.
Soft. Good throw though. Yeah.
Ideally, we get to that side of button, but with the way it's
Again, I almost like that a little more. I think not giving Hagenbuch any backing here to put the pressure on is a good option, and also being able to keep that shooter, top of the house like that gives now them something that they could tap or promote on their last couple of shots here.
No, I feel like
Absolutely, Hagenbuch really needs to channel that energy they brought in after the halftime break, where they took their tool, stole one, and then we could have an extra end.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the call is here with this broom. They might be kind of trying to draw through that really long court with that top kind of center guard and that rock in the top 12, trying to kind of curve inside out. I maybe like coming the outside in way, and they could either tap their yellow, or if it curls enough, they could just kind of make that straight draw. Not a lot of great options here, unfortunately. Miranda made a really good one on her first one.
It's the one and goes, it goes on top. Yep.
Looks like they're going for the come around.
Hard, Riley.
Drawing around that rock in the top of the 12 foot.
Pearl. It looks good. Hard, get it there, hard.
I think this is a good one here.
Might just be a little deeper than they want, but
You like just to it?
A little deeper, but I think the important thing there was to bury that
We're a little heavy with the
stone.
bit.
So I think that's why they kind of dragged that to the back of the house.
yeah, really great try. Scheel will try to sit right on top of it, try to go for the force or the
Would
steal.
have come over or not. It's so weird.
Interesting to see kind of the difference in broom here. It looked like Hagenbuch was about in the middle of the 8 foot, and so Scheel's taking about 2 feet more of ice, foot and a half.
Yeah.
What?
Again, comes down to kind of the individual curler, how many rotations they put on the stone, how they deliver. But that's kind of a pretty big discrepancy, I'd say, for two similar shots.
You don't like it?
A third is iffy. I think it's a quarter. I like the 15-2 here.
Again, talking about that 15-2 speed, so the ice seems consistent based on their hog-to-hog times.
Do you think the Scheel steal is patented already?
Too much. Seems there.
Back four!
It might be after this.
Back four!
I might get some documents written up.
That's patent pending.
Back four!
Looks like she has a good one here.
Just coming down to that yellow, little bit of a nudge.
Really well managed, though. I think, again, the pro side on there is to be a little heavy to tap that yellow back.
I think it's still, we gotta just get to the inside.
Just a little up.
Yeah, it's probably
I was
back
thinking
eight.
that she
We
might have
I don't ever
enough
like coming from this way.
to get to. I think you just need nose, push it back, and you might be able to get two.
I don't think.
Do you think their second shot, though? We have that red on the side of the 4 foot.
I think it's there.
Oh,
I think it's closer than I thought.
my guess is that yellow is second,
Okay.
but you
Yeah, so
always
they
have
almost
to pull out the measure.
they almost have to get to the inside of that red to not, jostle their yellow at all.
back
So
four.
really tricky shot here. She made a good one in the 6th. We'll see if she can make one here.
Yeah. We gotta at least tap it to. Oh my god, this is hammer. Gotta at least tap it out.
Lauren, go in a little bit. We got it.
Hear Bella saying,
third
"Oh my
shot."
gosh, this is hammer."
She was like, back four? I was like, okay, back
Yeah, sometimes when you're focused on the strategy and then the game at the other end, you lose count of the rocks a little bit. Looks like she's throwing more of maybe a hack weight.
Close line.
Pretty close here.
Close. Close.
I cannot see it at all.
Really hard. Gotta get around that red top one. Really gotta go. Ooh.
Fortunately, just a bit of a late break on that. Sweepers weren't able to hold it, and she'll rub off that top red.
Jordan.
Unfortunately, my patent is already seeing proceeds. for the Hagenbuch rink.
It looks like they are going to measure these back too, or at least take a couple glances at it. Victor is ready to jump in with the measure. Victor Lee on the board here at Broomstones Curling Club.
I literally just told Jordan,
Getting his volunteer hours in this weekend.
We both thought it was different, so maybe
I play with him on Sunday nights. Quite the character.
That'll happen. I've done that before.
I mean, I've done that before too, and sometimes I have a hard time judging how far
And both of you beat me in Sunday Night League, and I haven't forgotten.
Yeah,
Me neither.
That's fair.
But, you know, we can still, even after a hard-fought battle, great thing about curling, you can still sit in a commentary booth and be friends.
Was it?
So while we wait for this measure, we'll just kind of look at the other sheets we have. Johnson ended in handshakes after 9. Final score of that was 11-4. Johnson over View. Pekowitz, again, playing Ryerchuk in the 9th. Pekowitz with the hammer. Looks like they're counting 1. And they're throwing their hammer, so a draw for 2 for Pekowitz.
Pekowitz, the local team, know most of their parents pretty well, and there have been a lot of white knuckles in the warm room this week.
Yes, yes.
They've liked to play it close so far.
For sure. I think at least the 2 games I've seen have all come down to the last shot or went to an extra end.
Yep, a very good team here.
Up 4 or 5.
Working with a 5-person lineup, so a bit of a change here. Addison Neal, who's traditionally the skip, is sitting out, and we have one of the Stoperas slid in there.
Interesting. And also a U18 team here at U21. So,
Megan Stopera out there for Addison Neal. So I missed the measure because I was looking at sheet 3.
It's just 1 for Scheel, the Scheel Steel.
Scheel
Was
Steel.
the yellow counting at the back there? And we'll go to our last break.
The everyday person may not aspire to be a professional athlete or an Olympic athlete. You may just want to be the best person you can be. You just may want to sleep better. You may want to feel better. Thorne has many products that can support all of those things. So it's not just about performing or running faster or jumping higher. It's those little things that go into having a higher quality of life.
And welcome back here for the 10th end of our Draw 6 for the Women's 2023 Junior National Championships. Scheel, with that steal in 9, is up 8-4. They will throw their first rock through the house. Really just trying to run Hagenbuch out of rocks here. So I think we'll see maybe another throw through. Hagenbuch will be putting up multiple guards, really trying to generate offense here for 4. Probably going to need a couple misses as well.
Yep, a really great game overall here on our feature sheet.
Gotta be 3. Gotta be 3.
Yeah, I think maybe closer than the scoreboard has indicated. Just a couple shots here or there really could have changed the dynamic.
As far as it goes. Okay, hey. Gotta pick it up.
Shots here and there.
Same. Yep.
Millimeters this way, that way. 1 foot more, 1 foot less of weight. But that's curling.
Yes, it is. Tessa, again, just going to go with another throw through, trying to keep it open. Could have maybe tried a tick on that corner guard, but, no sense making things more complicated. On sheet 3, Pekowitz was able to make a nice draw on their last one to take 2. They're up 6-4, starting the 10th.
You just throw it on the ground.
Hagenbuch going with the double corner guard. Started that
Always
first one up
curl.
high, trying to draw this one a little
Always
closer
curl.
to the house.
Oh! Go for the center.
And ends up closer to a corner guard, but I think any guard at this point is good for them.
Yeah, usually with Hammer not wanting a
fade?
center guard, but
I don't.
desperate times
I
can
don't mind
occasionally
here.
call
I
for
kinda like
desperate
that.
measures.
Okay, pro heavy.
And Scheel switching up their strategy now. As the team without Hammer, they love that center guard. They're gonna try and use that to their benefit. Again, really shrink that scoring zone early. Try and put one in the 4-foot here.
Just top 4. Whoa!
Yep, Scheel not only
looks all there.
counting,
Just top 4.
trying to run out Hagenbuch out of
Where?
rocks,
Where?
also counting down their
Okay.
own rocks to when they can start
okay.
peeling some of those
Whoa.
guards, and
If we're back 8.
we will
we're
see
back,
that
back 8.
on their next shot, I assume.
Yup. All the way back, girl.
And that rock ends up in the back 4-foot. Not exactly where they wanted it, but a good spot again to cut down the scoring zone. Hagenbuch is going to be in a tough position here to get four counters. So it looks like they will call the freeze or maybe the draw to the top 4.
Where? Riley's rock. Yep. Forward.
Sweepers are working on this one. I know as it slows down, it's really carving over.
Hard of the way. Hard. Get
Longer into the game, Pebble might have also worn down just a little bit. And again, on this kind of ice, we've been seeing some pretty quick
Just feel.
speeds that can really have an effect.
And now that we're past that 5 rock rule, Miranda here will start throwing the big weight, trying to, again, run them out of rocks.
Yep. Whoa. We're okay here. Close.
Possible to get
Yep.
both of these if you hit it on the high side.
That's
Oh,
it.
and she does just that. Catches hers in the back, loses them all. That
Nice shot,
is
Joe.
pretty darn perfect.
That one.
We did say up by 4, you do not like rocks in play, and one rock just took care of
Both sides
4.
down. Really good. Stop,
Including
Sky
itself.
Your fingers are turning white.
That'll help Miranda take a big deep breath. Always good when your team can help you out, and hopefully we'll be able to avoid some pressure shots here, or even having to throw her last couple rocks.
Yeah, unfortunately, Hagenbuch kind of back to square one here. They did retain a pretty high
Where?
corner guard, but again, without that
Riley,
free
Riley.
guard zone in play
Over.
anymore,
As far
it's
as
going to be
it goes, as far
pretty
as it goes.
difficult.
Good, nice one here, Joe.
Yeah, just not getting as much finish as they were kind of hoping on some of these rocks. So that rock will sit in the 4-foot, unfortunately wide
You like
open.
just feeling it?
Uh,
Yep.
Scheel again just going to throw the heavy weight. If they make contact with either of these Yellowstones,
Yep.
they'll be very happy.
Close, just clean. Close, yep. That's okay.
And they'll be satisfied with that.
Whoa. Top house.
Now time for the classic back
Gotta come
end
down to it.
quad.
Yes, they have 4 rocks left, and all 4 need to count. So might have to get a little creative with this. Looks like they're going to switch to the freeze on this red rock. Jordan, I think, made a perfect roll on that to spread the house so they can't use their corner guard. But also sitting in the 8-foot again, really shrinking that scoring zone. So a great pair for Jordan to start the 10th end.
Well, again, thinking that this might be a little light.
I think they really got to go.
Gotta get in.
Unfortunately, I think you're seeing those kind of lighter handles just grab and dig in a little more.
Get it in. Nice peel here.
Usually,
Just
the
peel.
more times a rock rotates on its journey down the ice, the straighter it'll go.
And Jordan with her third here
Gotta curl a ton. Curl.
might have straightened it out. Trying to push it over to grab a piece.
Wow.
And unfortunately, a little bit of a miss there.
7-7. Can we put it back? Or put it there?
Yep, something for Hagenbuch to
Arrow?
ask Riley to stick to.
Yeah.
my slide was like that much narrower.
Oh, got a curl.
I think this rock is a little heavier than they're hoping for, so gonna need to grab a piece of that red.
You got it? Curl!
Yeah, you definitely can't let it go out of play. Unfortunately, that might be almost all she wrote.
Yeah, a little too heavy, and that will be handshakes on our sheet here. Scheel takes the win and remains undefeated. I believe they are 6-0 now with 1 game remaining.
They are. They could be looking at a #1 seed depending on how tomorrow morning's game goes.
Definitely, but a great battle here to watch. Thank you everyone for joining us for the 2023 Junior National Championships. I'm Connor Hogue.
I'm Kelsey Becker.
Well, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.
I was not going to leave. Don't you worry.
Sorry, I like was just like.